All right, people, this is it. I feel like this is a lifetime coming. We are going to be deleting our Patreon page during this live stream. For those of you that don't know, Patreon has been the #1 source of funding for us since we went independent back in June of 2016. That's when I started my independent production company. That's when we fully took the reins of this company and this show. I have no boss. I am my boss. I guess I am the boss around here, for better or worse. We've built a great little production company. We've got full-timers. We've got part-timers. We pay for everyone's insurance and dental and blah, blah, blah. We treat all our employees great. I think we've built a really great show here. I think fan funding was the key to making this thing truly successful. The fact that I can make whatever decision I think is right for the show and the business. The fact that I've been able to take sort of my small government principles and my refound, let's say, belief in capitalism and business and apply it to the things that I'm doing behind the scenes, as well as the issues that I'm talking about on air in front of you guys. The last couple of years have just been amazing. This show is just absolutely blown up. We're about to cross 1 million subscribers on YouTube, despite often people being unsubscribed from the YouTube channel. The audio podcast is basically bigger than the YouTube channel at this point. I think the things that we've been talking about over the last couple of years have been incredibly relevant and seemingly every day now become more relevant. I mean, even the fact that this is all going down on Patreon related to freedom of speech. And it was because of them kicking off Carl Benjamin, Sargon and Fakad, who's been in this very studio that we built, and I bought this house because of Patreon, or because of, in large part, because of the donations you guys have been making on Patreon over the last couple of years. It seems so fitting that we're going to finally do this. So I know there's a lot of eyeballs on this, and I know there's a lot of eyeballs in the media on this. I know there are employees at Patreon watching this right now. How are you guys? I know there's big shots at Google and Facebook watching and the rest of it. And I think that, look, Sam Harris left Patreon because of this. Jordan Peterson is deleting his Patreon account today. He may have done it already. He's in Switzerland right now. We spoke on the phone briefly. We were going to possibly Skype him in on this. I don't think it's going to happen because it's like 3 in the morning there, but who knows? Maybe some surprises will happen over the course of the next 2 hours. But this seems like just the next obvious step in everything that's been going on here. I just think that at some point, us, the people, have to push back against these tech companies. You can't keep infringing on freedom of expression. Yes, they can do whatever they want as private companies, and there's some issue whether these platforms are now becoming the true public space of the future, and does that have, what's the relationship between that entity as a platform that we can all communicate on, and the government. We can discuss that till the nth degree. I am trying to apply the same principles that I apply consistently to everything else here. I didn't ask the government to come in and demand that Sargon of Akkad stay on Patreon or on Twitter or anywhere else. I didn't ask the government to get involved and stop this person from getting banned or that person from getting banned. I think these bannings are a problem. You guys know my policy on gatekeeping. I'd rather much wider gates, generally speaking, as long as people are following the laws of the United States and we don't have hate speech laws and people are allowed to say mean things, and it's scary sometimes. But I would much rather have that than have all sorts of voices who are a little outside of mainstream be shut down, especially because in these days, it's not just the really bad voices that maybe should be ignored, perhaps. It's that it's coming for sort of everybody. So I'm going to discuss a whole bunch of things here. We are going to be deleting the Patreon page live. So Aaron, can you throw to the live shot of the computer that is right here? Right now, despite for the last month me emailing all my patrons, doing live streams, tweeting the hell out of this thing, posting it on Facebook, posting it on Instagram, and God knows what else I've been doing, as you can see right now, we've got almost 1,800 patrons that still remain in there for about $10,000 a month. Now, I don't think, all right, Aaron, you can come back to me for a sec. I don't think a normal person running a business would say, oh, can I take what was, when we started this thing about a month ago, when we started announcing we were going to leave, or at least when the Carl Benjamin thing popped, I don't think a normal businessman is like, oh, can I just get rid of 70% of my company's revenue and we'll see what happens. But I just felt like it was just enough. and I had faith that you guys were going to come with me on this adventure. So I am thrilled to say that we have done really nicely. We haven't made up all the Patreon money, but we've done really, really nicely at daverubin.com/donate. So we are going to use this live stream for one more round of fundraising to really just blow that thing up. So it's daverubin.com/donate. If you donate while I'm live right now for $5 and above, I'm going to give you a live shout out, and I've got a trusty iPad here and a team of dedicated professionals in the control room over there. If you donate via PayPal, via Stripe, whatever it is, at daverubin.com/donate, I'm going to give you a live shout out. If you donate $25 or more per month, you're going to get the Rubin Report Select shirt. Now, this is the select shirt that only our patrons at certain levels were getting. These will never be printed again. We've got a couple boxes on the left because they were printed for Patreon only. Obviously, we're never going to print them again. So these are the last couple that we've got left. I think we've got about 100 of them left. Let's see if we can move some of these. You will get one of these. You make the donation, then you send us your size. We've got your email. We'll take good care of you. And if you donate 50 or more monthly, I'm going to sign a Rubin Report official mug that will never be printed again either because it's the select member mug. I'm going to sign that for you right here live on air, and we're going to send it to you. And you guys will ensure that the show remains completely independent. And as I said, I've had a whole bunch of offers from networks, some that I would consider working with. I've had all sorts of offers to do more ads on the show. I have had every which way that you can think of funding something, I've had offers. We've had other people offer us big money. I like doing it this way. I think it's great. I'm psyched. I'm happy. I'm content. I want to keep growing. There's so many good things happening over the course of the next year in terms of we're continuing the tour with Jordan Peterson. In May and June, we're going to hit all sorts of countries in Europe and do that again. In February, for a couple weeks, I'll be in Australia. We're bouncing all over the country. In April, we're considering, I have an offer to do a full month of Rubin Reports on the road all over the United States. I have to make sure that I actually can do it because the other thing is that I'm writing a book right now, which I've been writing forever, and my due date to have the book done is August 1st. So I got a lot going on, and I'm also supposed to do a show, and I've been doing stand-up again and all that good stuff. So there's a lot happening here, but I want to keep this momentum going. Also, the key to this whole thing is that Jordan and I also are working on a new platform. So there's a limit to the amount that I can talk about this specifically for legal reasons, and I can't give away all the secrets and the keys to the kingdom just yet. We're working on another platform. There are huge, huge questions related to how do we want this platform to function? And should this be all, should it be monetized through crypto? Should we be doing torrent video streaming, and how do we fully protect it so that we don't have to worry about payment processors, we don't have to worry about tech companies taking us down and all of those things. As crazy as that is, right? All I'm doing here is exercising free speech. I like interviewing people and enjoy having good conversation and all that stuff, but we do have to think about all these things. So Jordan and I are working on that. There is a company formed, so there's all sorts of legal things that have to be dealt with and the rest of that. We are working on that. What I'm doing today is just step one of all of that. So step one for me was let's get off Patreon and let's move everybody so that we can fund everybody on our site. Whatever we do after this, by the way, if you're going to jump over to daverubin.com/donate and you do the monthly credit card thing over there or PayPal, we're going to be able to fold that into the new thing because we don't want people to have to sign up for a zillion things and cancel a zillion things and all that. Because as you can see by the 2,000 people that haven't canceled Patreon yet, people forget to do things, right? So it's like I could just not delete Patreon right now and just keep cashing in on these people, but I'm obviously not going to do that. So okay, here we go. Oh, by the way, so I'm going to be answering questions, so you can answer questions. You can ask questions in Super Chat. I'm happy to take some questions there. I'm obviously going to be giving some prime real estate right now to people that are the current patrons who are asking questions. And I just want to say, beyond anything else, and then I'll tell you some other fun stuff, I am beyond humbled and honored, and I'm a better person because of this whole adventure. I can't describe to you what it is like to have people all over the world just believe in you doing something. And I'm just doing what I think is right. That really is it. I'm some guy doing what I think is right. It's not any more magical than that. And for whatever reason, we live in a weird time especially in the West, or especially, let's say, in the United States, where we are in the freest country in the history of the world right now. This evil patriarchy that we live in is the freest place ever. And people are afraid to say what they think. They're afraid to stand up and fight for what they believe in, and all of this stuff. And I don't know what's wrong with me, but I just can't not do it. So here I am. I'm just drawing a line in the sand, and I'm doing what I think is right, and I'm reaping the rewards for it, and I'm incredibly humbled by that. So I thank you guys truly. So again, okay, just one more reset on the radio here. If you donate $5 and above during this live stream, I'm going to give you a live shout out. $25 or above monthly, you're getting the Rubin Report shirt that will never be printed again, people. The select member shirt that'll never be printed again. $50 or above, you're going to get the shirt, and you're going to get the mug, and I'm going to sign the mug for you right here. I've got a trusty Sharpie, okay? And now, just to sweeten the deal, I sent out one of the Rubin Report team members to pick up an unopened bottle of Patron, okay? We just picked this thing up. I am opening it for the first time. And I don't know exactly what we're going to do with this. When we originally launched on Patreon back in 2016, we were trying to figure out fun ways to raise funds, and one of the things I did was, I think for every $1,000 we raised during a live stream, I did a shot, and if I'm not mistaken, within like an hour and a half, I had done like 5 shots. I was wasted. I think I ended up doing something like 7 shots. It was not pretty. It was not good. And I'm older now, and I'm wiser, and I don't think I can do that level. But I've got an unopened bottle of Patron, as you can see. Here, Aaron, go to the other screen so I can show them this thing is unaltered, untouched, okay? And I've got a trusty shot glass. This shot glass, by the way, you can't see anything on it right now, unfortunately. I got this at Universal Studios. It used to have a Decepticon logo on it, which I really loved, and I don't know what happened to the Decepticon logo, but I will do a shot in honor of Soundwave. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to make the marks for when I'm going to do shots, but impress me. You know, throw out something good on Super Chat. We're trying to raise some funds here, and then we're going to delete this thing at the end. And I'm going to have some chili for dinner. So, okay, so let me ask some questions. There are a couple shout outs quick to Devin, Andrew, Eric, Jeff, and Travis. Thank you guys. On Super Chat, go Rubin, go. I'll do it. All right, thank you. Good luck, Dave and team. Wishing you the best, Dave. Here's to the future. We're here to support you. CBD, American Shaman of San Antonio. I do, every now and again, I'll do a little, if I got like an ache or something, I think I mentioned this the other day, take a little CBD cream, and I do like the CBD. Dave, thanks for all the great videos. I'm a size large. I'll debate tomorrow about the government shutdown. I'm in a debate tomorrow about the government shutdown. Wish me luck. Good luck to you. Let's see. For free speech, what is your opinion on the Daily Wire, and do you wish to join? Well, first off, I think the Daily Wire is doing great stuff. I obviously have some disagreements with the conservatives on a couple of different things. I have some disagreements with Ben. I've discussed those disagreements right here related to some gay issues and to abortion and to death penalty and a bunch of other things. But I think Ben is a decent guy. And I think despite our differences, we want to live in the same country together. We've had a good time on stage together. Last month at one of the Jordan Peterson events here in LA, I brought Ben out on stage. The crowd went bananas. He brought me, we have this gay cake debate. So he brought me a little cupcake. Everyone went crazy, and it was just wonderful. Thousands of people screaming. And it's like, then I look on Twitter, and it's like the usuals, the tolerant progressives. Oh, look at the homophobe and the gay guy on stage together. It's like, grow up, you children. What planet do you want to live on? Okay, so go Rubin, go. We did that one. Hey, Dave, I just want to say thank you for standing on principle. No matter the cost, you've inspired my own channel from the start, and I'm grateful. That's awesome. I want a zillion people to do this. I don't need to, I'm doing interviews. A lot of people do interviews, but it's like more and more and more. Let's get a little braver here. Let's keep telling people what we think. We got a lot of bad people right now that are willing to shout everybody down and deplatform everybody and scream you're racist and you're a bigot and all this other nonsense. They're very brave right now, and I see a lot of good people that are not brave. And that's part of the problem at the moment. And we're going to fix that. So reminder, we're just raising some funds right now. Here, you know what? If I'll do a shot for, at the net, when we hit $500 on Super Chat, I'll do a shot. How about something like that? Or, we really want to get people over to daverubin.com/donate, though, because we just want to make sure we have a good monthly budget so we can grow the show, we can continue to do the things that we're doing and all that. So the more of you that jump over there, the better. Guys, if we're getting shout outs and mugs, I'm not seeing it on here, so maybe we're not live on here. I'm not sure if anything's not being edited, so let me know about that, guys. On Patreon, I'm behind free speech and you, Dave and Jordan. Thank you for all your hard work on behalf of free people everywhere. On my way over to Dave's new site to donate there in place of Patreon. Much love and success to you both in 2019. Thank you very much. Another one on Patreon, out on Patreon, on as a direct donor. Thanks a lot. You know, the other part of this is, nobody from Patreon has reached out to me. Jack Conte, who sat in that chair and said that you wouldn't get kicked off Patreon for speech, you would only get kicked off for manifest observable behavior, which is a term that I think he made up, which has the acronym MOB, M-O-B, manifest observable behavior. So only a mob could kick you off, because you can't make shit up. I mean, that's completely bananas. I just realized that I just don't trust them. And it's like, look, do I trust Google? Do I trust YouTube? Do we trust any of these things? Not really, but I think that the experiment of Patreon was sort of small enough that I wanted to make a move on this. And as I've said in some of the other live streams, look, I have friends and people that I have nothing but total respect for, like Brett Weinstein and Colin Moriarty, who are staying on Patreon right now. And maybe they'll be able to fight on the inside and get them to change their terms of service, even though they didn't even follow their own terms of service. Because in the Patreon terms of service, they said, these are the things you're not allowed to say on our platform. Carl Benjamin did not say the N-word on their platform. He said it, he didn't even say it on his own YouTube channel. He said it on someone else's YouTube channel 10 months ago. And he didn't even use the N-word as a racially pejorative term. He used it because he was using the language, perhaps slightly sloppily, of the alt-right against them. That's the point. This guy debates alt-right people. He is not a racist. And I also think it's sort of fitting that, that this all sort of boils down to Carl, not to make it too much about him, but when I was having my wake up, when I was a full-on lefty and I was on TYT and I don't know, I guess I had a lobotomy or something, when I was part of that thing, when I started waking up to what was going on related to free speech and the authoritarianism that had permeated throughout the left and this really awful social justice monster that I think now everybody obviously sees, and I guess I happened to be one of the first people that was seeing it. When I started talking about it, everybody said, you got to talk to Carl Benjamin, you got to talk to this guy, Sargon of Akkad. So it seems sort of fitting that the first guy that I talked to online about all this was the one who got booted that's now causing me to leave this. And we're just taking control of our destiny and all that good stuff. Shout outs to Kyle, to Joshua, to Nolan, to Noah, and to Colin. Thank you. One small step for intellectuals, one giant leap for the intellectual dark web. Hashtag shots of freedom. Watched you and Jordan at the Tabernacle here in Atlanta. You guys were awesome. Keep it up. Love you, buddy. That was actually one of my favorite shows because it was Jordan's birthday, and the crowd was just fantastic. People spontaneously sung happy birthday to him. We brought him out. You know, he won't eat cake. So we brought him out a raw steak with the candle in it. It was just a blast, though. And the crowd was just great. Atlanta's just a great city. Way to stand up for your principles. Thank you. Thanks for standing up for liberty, Dave. Look forward to seeing you and Jordan in New Zealand. I'm not going to be in New Zealand. I can't do the New Zealand leg. I'm going to leave Australia a little bit early. I got 1 week of the year. My family, everybody, folks, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, everybody, we all get together for 1 week in an undisclosed location, and that's the 1 week we do it. And for all the goodness that's going on, and for as much as I would love to be in New Zealand and eat some of that good New Zealand lamb, I'm not going to be there for that. I'm sorry about that, but I promise I will get back there at some point. Trust me, it sucks. It's one of the places that I haven't been that I would love to get to, and I will get there at some point. I promise you that. Shout out to Patrick, and reminder, guys, you can get shirts, $25 monthly. You're getting a shirt, a Rubin Report shirt. It is a select member shirt, by the way, that will never be printed again. $50, I'm signing mugs, people. Don't make me leave these mugs in this room. I got to get rid of I got to move product. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Why have you not had Michael McWhorter or Glenn Lowry on the show? I don't know why it's happened. I think we've been in touch with Lowry at least. Let me look into that. Thanks for standing up for free speech. Good luck, Dave. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to, first I'm going to open up the Patron. So make me an offer I can't refuse. I mean, that's what I'm saying, people. Go over to daverubin.com/donate. Make me an offer I can't refuse. I'll do a shot at Patron in honor of leaving Patreon for you. By the way, I'm having a crazy day over here, not only just with the energy around this thing, but I've shot 3 shows already today, which were really something. I don't even want to give everything away. So we've got a great show tomorrow that I taped first thing this morning. I'll leave it up to mystery at the moment, but I really taped 3 great shows today. All right, so I am opening this bad boy. It is now open. There we go. Smells like tequila. Oh man, I don't have any lime or salt or anything. We'll figure that out. Hey Dave, this is a very brave move on your part. Kudos. Have you heard about the SJW nonsense on the? I don't even care about those guys. It really just honestly doesn't matter. Viva la free speech. Good luck, Dave. Fuck you, Patreon. All right, I'm reading these live. Take a shot for me. Keep up the amazing work. Good luck, Dave. Thanks for standing up to free speech. Shout out to Carlos and to John and to Michael. All right. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I will pour a first shot just to get this thing going here. This is what the internet's really about, people. It's about people getting drunk on YouTube, apparently. I guess that's a big thing, right? Don't people get drunk and cook or the rest of it? So can't people get drunk and do a little fundraising? Okay, let's see. So we're going to delete Patreon. I don't know how long we're going to do this. I think we're going to probably go till about 7 o'clock Pacific, probably about 2 hours. I'm just shooting the shit with you guys. I'm happy to answer any questions and just talk whatever. Shout out to Nathan, shout out to Kendra, shout out to Michael. Thank you guys. And then after that, so let me just plot out a little bit of sort of the way I see the future. So look, we're going to move everybody to my website. My website's actually pretty cool. If you haven't been to daverubin.com, even if you don't want to donate, I think we've done a nice job over there. You can see upcoming events that I have and you know the rest of it. We are completely redoing my website though, and we're going to make it much more of a destination. So we're going to be hosting our own videos there, making sure that that nothing can be taken down. We're looking at all the pressure points online of how you would take something down, how would you demonetize something, how would you stop somebody from posting video. We're taking care of all of those things. These are all also obviously within the discussions that I'm having with Jordan about the upcoming platform. There's also a series of other things. I don't want to make this seem like this is only Jordan and I working on this. Many of the players that you know, whose names I need not mention at the moment, are working on all sorts of different solutions to this problem. And who knows? Who knows what will be the right solution to these problems? But I'm also very enthused that, I've mentioned this before, I'm getting a ton of people from big tech companies, from Google and Facebook and a whole bunch of others that are reaching out to me, that are working at these companies that are going, this ain't right, what's going on here, and we've got to fight this monster. So I'm very enthused about that, and we'll see if we can grab some of these guys. All right, guys, I don't think that the mugs line, the mug t-shirt line, I don't think is loading right now. Shout outs to William and to Jackson. When are you coming to New England, Dave? I don't know that we have any New England plans at the moment. I have a couple Cali things coming up, so I'm going to be in San Jose and San Diego and Riverside, California next week with Jordan Peterson. And then I will be at the Irvine Improv in Orange County on January 30th doing stand-up. I do about an hour of stand-up. I bring one of the IDW guys on stage. It's an absolute blast. I was in Ontario, California, which I didn't realize was a place, and we had a lot of people in Ontario, Canada, because both are CA, that I think showed up to the improv over there. But we had just a freaking, I just crushed it for an hour. It's stand-up like you've never seen before. I'm barely telling jokes. I go up there, I have a good time. It's politically incorrect. I get everybody involved. We do Q&A. I mess around with the crowd. It's fun. It's fun. So I hope you guys will come out to that. Okay. Let's see. Speaking of drinking, will you have Michael Malice on the show again or when his new book comes out? Is he an alcoholic or something? I don't see the connection to drinking, but I'd love to have Michael Malice on again. Michael is a brilliant guy. He's a really brilliant political thinker. If you haven't seen my interview with him, you should check it out. I consider him the Willy Wonka of politics. He's kind of Willy Wonka-ish. Watch the interview, you'll see it. It's also how he dresses. But he's a great political thinker. He's more on sort of the ANCAP side of things, sort of like an extreme libertarian view of freedom, which I certainly love exploring those ideas. I think he's just got good energy and he's good. Patrick, I'm signing your mug. I guess the mug thing just kicked in. All right, Patrick, I'm signing a mug for you. Welcome on board. We've got about 50 mugs left. We're moving mugs, people. Patrick, you're getting the first one. There you go, my friend. Thank you very much. Let's see. Thank you, Mr. Rubin. I appreciate all your hard work, and you've truly opened my eyes to different points and views. Try to get Dr. Peterson to come down to Louisiana. I don't think we did a show in Louisiana. I'm pretty sure that after we do these 3 in California, that'll be it for this year. Jordan's writing a new book, and I'm writing a book. Maybe Jordan will be opening for me on my book tour. We shall see about that. So there will be more tours, obviously, in the United States. We're trying to think about some other touring ideas with some of the IDW crew. As I mentioned, I have this offer on the table for all of April, all over the United States, to take the Rubin Report on the road and do pretty big theaters, like 1,000 to like 1,500 seats per venue. So we're thinking about it. I just got to figure out if I have enough time to write. So we're gonna work on that. Shout outs to Torben and to Mike. Welcome on board, guys. Thank you. Dave, please try to get Dan Crenshaw on your show. He would be an interesting guest and a rising star. I completely agree, and I'm happy to report, because we drop live news on live streams, that I've been in touch with Dan. He is the new congressman down in Texas. He is going to come on the show. He's a fan of the show. He's happy to do it. We're just trying to arrange it during a trip that he has to LA. And by the way, since I will have a freshman congressman like Dan Crenshaw on the show, I will gladly have Alexandria Cortez or Omar Ilan, or Ilan Omar, whatever her name is, or Tlaib, or any of these people that want to come in. I will gladly talk to any of them. Dan has already offered to come on, so that'll be great. How about a Rubin Report app? We're in discussions on many fronts. I have a proposal sitting in my email from a company that does pretty slick apps, and we're basically just trying to streamline all of this. I really think that the internet is changing right in front of us right now. Like I think we had like the first 10 years of social media that were sort of the glory years, where everybody was meeting everybody, and people liked being on Facebook and liked connecting with people on Twitter, and you could meet heroes of yours, or athletes that you like, or authors, and people were connecting, and it was all great. Then in the last couple of years, the internet started eating itself in a way, and the trolls took over, and the hate and all that stuff. Now again, I say this despite the fact that I would say 90%, despite I have an extremely dedicated group of loser trolls that are always following me, and I just mute them, who cares? But 90% of what I see online is positive. So I think most of it's still positive, but I think that generally it's just something to do with the human condition. People focus on the negative more than they focus on the positive. So I think people think it's all horrible, even though it really isn't that bad. But that's the other reason why being on the tour has been so great, because I get to see actual people in real life, and they're often quite pleasant, as opposed to how they are online. Shout out to Shamari and to Mark. Thank you, guys. Super chat, I'm with you, brother. All right, right on. And keep up the great fight for free speech. I have nothing better to do. I mean, really, I was thinking about it the other day. Like, I was kind of thinking, like, some of this can be a little bit annoying. Like, I am sort of spread thin in a certain way. Like, I'm trying to do my interview show. I'm trying to do stand-up. I got a business to run. Like, I'm on tour, a whole bunch of other things. And now I'm sort of like half leading a tech company. My weekends have just kind of disappeared. But it's like, I don't know, what else do I better do? And it's more fun to be spread thin than when you're just like, you have nothing to do. So life's an adventure, and I guess you guys are seeing my adventure. All right, here's what we're gonna do. If we get $100 on Super Chat, the next $100 on Super Chat, I will take a shot of Patron here. This is a big shot too. I should not have poured that much of it in there. That was a mistake. You're the man, Rubin. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. What the hell are we doing here, people? I am deleting Patreon live today. Aaron, let's go to the video there. So I just learned that you can refresh a page on the computer there if you press Command R. That's very fancy. So I'm refreshing the page. I think I'm refreshing. Did I refresh the page? Command R, maybe? All right, I'm going to refresh the old way, the way I know how, old school. I'm refreshing the page. How are we doing? Did we drop it all? So we still have 1,777 people donating $9,911. People, please cancel. Stop paying me there. What are you doing? I don't know what else to tell you guys. Please, you've got to stop doing it. I appreciate the stick-to-itiveness and the dedication, but join me over at the website, daverubin.com/donate, or don't, but let's get you off Patreon. Let's save a couple bucks then for yourself. Okay, what else is going on here? Okay, this iPad is going a little slow right now. Okay, next $100 on Super Chat, I'm taking the shot. So what else is happening at the moment? You know what? I'm going to tell you who we interviewed today. Because it was really a really interesting day that I think sort of sums up so much of what's going on here, and I think why you guys why you guys dig this thing. So we started the day with Dr. Everett Piper, who's the president of Oklahoma Wesleyan University, which is a small college, about 1,500 students. He is a staunch defender of intellectual freedom, and he's written several books on it and why we're coddling these young people and why it's terrible. He comes from it's a Christian university, comes from a Christian perspective, and we talked a lot about ethics, and we talked about living with honor and where do rights come from, and a lot of my wheelhouse things, but with a little bit of a religious perspective that we've done a little bit before. Fascinating guy. Like I just, one of the things that I like most is when I get a guest who really, you can tell, really knows their ideas in and out, and can tackle them in all sorts of different ways. I just love that, and he was truly a master of his ideas. So we're posting that one tomorrow. We're doing it in one piece. Then we took about a half-hour break, had lunch, had a salad, and then I interviewed Heather McDonald from the Manhattan Institute, and I'm sure most of you know Heather McDonald. She's a really fascinating public figure who's taken some pretty politically incorrect positions on welfare, on Black Lives Matter, on the Me Too movement. She writes extensively about sort of third-wave feminism and how it's gone haywire, and the assault on men, which is obviously becoming more and more relevant. Did you guys see this idiotic Gillette promo that they put up yesterday? It's just embarrassing, like this need for these companies to embrace social justice, which is such a rot. It's intellectual rot, and these companies just go for it, hook, line, and sinker. It's just pathetic and awful. Let's see. So I had Heather on. It was a great discussion. Unfortunately, we had to cut it kind of quick because she was in a rush. So we only did about 50 minutes or so. And then my third one was a really interesting conversation with a guy by the name of Tal Keenan, and he is an American-Israeli who's written sort of a book about sort of what he thinks the history of the Jews, or the future of the Jews, is going to be, which I thought was sort of interesting because we've done a lot, I've done more on, especially on theology and religion related to people when it's come to Christianity. We haven't done that much on Judaism, although I've had Rabbi Wolpe on a couple times. So it was really just a really interesting day, and what was particularly interesting about it was that my day started talking to a guy who talks about things from a Christian perspective. Heather considers herself a secular conservative, which we talked about, because people don't think that exists. People seem to think that to be a true conservative, you have to be religious. Well, she makes a great point that you do not, in fact, and you'll hear more about that in the interview. And then it ended up talking with somebody talking about the future of Judaism. So I thought, wow, this is I mean, you want to talk about diversity. Now, they all happen to be white, although Tal was more brown, I suppose. But this was diversity of thought, and that is the diversity of matter that matters. Did you know that? Jake, John, and Joe. 3 J's in a row. Thank you, guys. Okay, super chat. All right, here we go. I'm a man of my word. Getting too old for this. 42 years old. Do 42-year-olds do shots? Is that a thing? Well, 42-year-olds about. Oh, and they brought. I've got an all-star team here. Let me put this in front of the computer for a second. I've got, let's put that in front of the computer. I've got lime. I've got salt. Oh, God, that's the screenshot right there. All right, I'm going to do it. All right. Oh, another one. Take the shot. All right, here we go. It's been a long time coming. So, little salt. Here we go. Got salt. Got tequila. Add a little salt. There's a little tequila. I do like lime. I've always liked lime. I like Sprite. You're not supposed to drink it. I don't really drink it that often. Sprite Zero every now and again, although that'll kill you too. But I like lemon lime. I like citrus. All right, there you go. So I hope you're happy, person who did that. Thank you very much. Oh, man. I really haven't eaten today. I had a salad, and I had 2 glasses of bone broth. This could be very messy, people. What am I doing? I'm deleting Patreon and taking shots of Patron, and we're fundraising to keep the show fully independent. Look, I don't intend on doing fundraisers a lot throughout the year. We've done a nice job. We've transitioned a whole good portion of people. The business is going to continue, I promise you that. We're trying to just get to the same levels that we were at before. So I don't know, my guys were saying we should be trying to get to a specific number right now, or we should try to raise a certain amount over the course of this 2 hours or something like that. I don't know, we're just kind of playing it by ear. And then I will click on Patreon and delete it. Let me see. Did anyone drop? Aaron, jump back over there. Has anyone dropped? I'm trying to get these people to drop. Will anyone drop? Did we? Yes, we lost 6 people. That's what I'm talking about. We lost 6 people on Patreon, and we dropped, I don't know, I didn't see the amount of money on that, but I am thrilled to report, people, we are slowly dropping patrons. I could do this, I could do a 24-hour stream and just wait for these people. Some of these people could be dead for all I know. I don't know what's going on here. All right, let's see. Time to take the shot, bring out Joe Rogan. This is a second person, another shot. No, I think what we're gonna have to do, it will be insane if I do this for every $100 that I do a shot. I will be dead before I'm able to press delete on this thing. So I don't know, the next shot has to be $500? That sounds crazy, but like, I don't know, it's the internet. People do crazy things. But I'll do a couple more, we'll figure it out. All right, good luck, brother. Patreon is a joke anyway. Are you gonna ever get Norm Macdonald on? Yeah, you know, I met Norm at Aura TV when I was over there with Larry King, and chatted with him in the green room. He said he'd do it. We haven't just been able to connect, but I would love to have him on. Sometimes people say I sound like Norm Macdonald. I loved Norm Macdonald from Weekend Update. That was basically the last time I watched Saturday Night Live. Does anyone watch that crap anymore? I would love to know that in the comments. Like, does anyone watch television anymore at all? I don't. I watch on Sundays, TV Land does like a 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Golden Girls marathon, and I kind of have that on the background when I'm doing other stuff in the house or just like laying there with my dog or whatever. But I don't watch any television. I haven't watched, well, certainly cable news or CNN or anything like that in forever. I watch Ancient Aliens every now and again. You like the Ancient Aliens? I like them. You know, Ancient Alien theorists theorize that canceling Patreon and going over to daverubin.com/donate is one of the best things that you can do. Okay, good luck, brother. Oh, I just did that one. Dave, good luck with all the avenues you're pursuing in 2019. What are your predictions for Democratic candidates in 2020? Will they fracture similar to the Republicans in 2016, or will the establishment back one candidate? I'm a little hesitant to say this because I'm so frustrated with what's happening on the left and the Democrats and the progressives that I don't want to tip them off to what I think is going to happen. But this is just between me and you. I think it's going to be a freaking bloodbath. I think that between Elizabeth Warren, let's say Bernie, now they've got Tulsi Gabbard, there'll be a couple others on the progressive side. They'll throw, you know, maybe a Cory Booker. They'll throw in someone who's a little more mainstream. I don't know exactly who that is because there aren't really mainstream. There aren't really blue dog, more centrist Democrats anymore. Say a guy like Jim Webb, who was in one debate last time and he looked like he was on the wrong stage. Those people don't really exist. So what I think you're going to happen is a further splintering of the progressive thing. And the Kamala Harris people, let's say, are going to call the Bernie supporters racist because he's white. And they're going to call them this because they're this. And, you know, and also you're seeing these people try to pretend that they're human. I mean, watching, you guys saw that video where Elizabeth Warren drank the beer with her husband and he just happened to be standing there, and they try to pretend that they're normal average people. Or Kamala Harris did the video with the music that she likes and they're just robots. It's like Trump standing in the White House surrounded by 10,000 burgers is more of a human than what these people are. So in a weird way, as much as I would love, and I want to be clear about this, as much as I would love for a decent Democrat to return, a good liberal, a JFK liberal, a Daniel Patrick Moynihan, an Ed Koch, an old school liberal, to return from the ashes of this lunacy, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And that person, I don't know where the hell that person is. It doesn't seem to me that anyone can tell me who that person is. Even that person, who would that be? Maybe that's a Joe Biden of 20 years ago who was more of a mainstream Democrat. But if the future of the Democrats is Joe Biden, who's what, 72, 74, something like that, then they're in a lot of trouble anyway. And that is not to say anything about the Republicans. I'm happy to answer questions about the Republicans if you got them. But yes, let's see. Okay, let's see. Shout outs to Martha and to Nathan. Let's see. Super chat. Subbed for $50 on your site 30 minutes ago. Long until you sign my mug. I'm not sure what you're saying exactly there. My guys are telling me the mug thing, but my iPad's loading a little slow. So here is what I'm going to do for you, imaginary person. I believe you, so I'm signing a mug for you. I'm going to put this one aside, and guys, let's track that super chat and figure out what's going on here. Mahalo, Dave, for all things. Free speech is lucky to have you as a close friend. Keep up all of the awesome. Mahalo, my friend. Viva free speech, indeed. Hey Dave, thanks for all you do. You should have Matt Fradd on to discuss his work on pornography and its effect on culture. You know, a few people have mentioned him before. I actually have his book here. He talks a lot about people's addiction to pornography and a bunch of other things. I actually think it's a pretty interesting topic. It just hasn't happened yet. You know, I will do it. We will make it happen. Hang tight. Reminder, guys, I'm at Irvine Improv with an IDW guest on January 30th. They sold out. So one of the funny things at my stand-up shows that we didn't realize is that we do usually about 50 seats out of, usually clubs have about 300 seats or something. We do about 50 seats for a meet and greet, and you pay a little bit extra, you get seated in the front, and then I meet people and shake hands and take pictures after and all that. Those are all selling out crazily quickly, so they sold out immediately. I asked the guys today to release 10 more, so I'm not sure if they're still available, but you can check at daverubin.com/events. You can click over there and see if there's any more meet and greets available, but we'll make it happen. But you know what, here's what we'll do. This is gonna complicate things for my guys a little bit. But anyone that donates, if you donate 25 bucks or more a month during this live stream, we'll have your email address, and we will email you if you want to come to any of those shows and you can't get tickets to the upgrade, or you don't even have to upgrade. If you end up at the Irvine show, we'll gladly upgrade you to the meet and greet. I'll make sure it happens. We will do that. So, okay, let's move on. Thanks for the good fight, Dave. Much respect. I appreciate it. Look at you nice people being good on Super Chat. You know, every now and again I glance, you know, we post the live stream. This tells you a little bit about the ecosystem of YouTube. But we post the live stream on YouTube, and I'll glance before we get on there about what's going on in the comment section, and I don't know what you people are doing. What do you people do? You're all fighting with each other, saying horrible things to each other. Often, the ones that amaze me the most, though, I really mean this, and I just glance for literally 30 seconds. And it's like, there's all these people that seemingly don't like me in this comment section. And I don't care if you don't like me, I actually don't. But what I would say to you is, what are you doing with your life? Get off this channel. What are you doing? If you don't like me, go find something to do. I mean, there's plenty of other things you could be doing right now. You could take a run. You could play some video games. You could watch porn. I mean, there's many other, you could write. I don't know, what do? You could make coffee. You could stare at a fish tank. There's a zillion things you could do better than just endlessly sit there. Dave Rubin's, what are you doing? Tell me what you're doing. If you're watching this right now, which I'm sure you are, what are you doing with your life? What can we do for you? I would recommend reading 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. That might help. Clean up your room, people. Okay. Oh, by the way, all right, so we should clarify something because there seems to be a little confusion here. First off, I thank you guys that are all jumping in on Super Chat, and I know that's a cool way of getting your voice heard, and I'm reading them all right here. We're not censoring any of this nonsense. But the only way we're giving away stuff, again, the shirts that are right here, which are in limited supply, I would love to get rid of them. I need some closet space. You know, my studio, this is my garage. So I don't have a garage anymore. We built a state-of-the-art studio here. And you know what I'll do? I do this for patrons, but I often do videos where I just kind of wander around and I show you the whole thing. And it's pretty awesome. So if you haven't seen what sort of the behind the scenes of this is you guys on Patreon and that the people that have allowed us to fan fund, you guys, you truly, I mean, it's not hyperbole or a sarcastic remark to say that you made my dreams come true. I bought this house because of you guys. I built this studio because of you guys. We built a state-of-the-art studio. When Tucker Carlson walked in here a couple weeks ago, now think about this. Tucker Carlson has the #1 show on cable news. I have no idea how many millions of dollars a year he's making, but it's millions and millions of dollars a year. He walks into my garage and he literally, I don't know if he's gonna want me to quote him exactly, but it was something to the effect of, holy fucking shit, this is your garage. Like he was actually jealous of this cool thing that we've been able to build here and my freedom and all that. And that's not a knock on Fox by him in any way. He loves what he's doing. I was on his show later that night and they treat him great, and he's become a huge ally in this space related to free speech and the rest of it. And the guy gets unending hate. I mean, for the amount of hate that I get, it's like you attach Fox to your name and now mainstream is just obsessed with you because they just want the clicks and views that you're getting, right? And that's why the more hate that I get, the more I'm like, oh, I guess I am doing something right, because people say nice things to me. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm all right. I'm doing what I think is right. But then all these people that hate me, I'm like, boy, you're really spending a lot of time thinking about me. Okay. But anyway, because of fan funding, we've been able to do this. But I don't have a garage anymore, so we don't have a lot of storage space in this house. And if I can move some of those boxes of mugs and t-shirts, that would actually be wonderful. Shout outs to Chris and Christine. Are they a couple? I do not know. We'll find out. Okay, let's see. Gave $50 on your site. No place for us to enter details on there. Write a heart on my mug when you sign it. You glorious gay bastard. Love you. Okay, so if you gave money on the site, so we'll find out who that last person was that gave 50. We then have your email address, and we will email you with all of the information. So fear not, we'll get you. So I'm going to sign the mug for you right now. I feel good about that D right there. That's a good D. And you want a heart on that thing? You gay bastard. All right, no homo, dude. You got a heart. You got a heart too. All right, there you go. Let's see. Okay. Hey, Dave, are you going to do anything on Comicsgate and the blacklisting / doxing of people in the comics industry? So this thing keeps popping up. To be totally honest with you, my bandwidth, try to imagine what my bandwidth is like at the moment to be able to take in like enough stories that are related to all of the things that are going on with this and try to do all the things I'm trying to do. Every now and again, something that I know should not get by me does get by me. So I know I need to pay more attention to this. And also, like, I come from the world of comic books. I love, in our green room here, and I'll post some videos of this also soon. And I've done it before for the behind the scenes Patreon thing. That's what I was trying to get to earlier. I love comics. I have comics. I have some of my old comic collection posted in the green room right over there. So I know I need to know more about this. I know there's been some like SJW madness related to comics. I know it's leaking into the video game world and into everywhere. Oh, I had a question for you. So this past weekend on Sunday, I took a couple meetings in the morning. I try not to work on the weekend, but it never works. I always end up doing it. But I had a couple hours in the afternoon, and it was pouring rain here in LA, and it never rains. And I had a couple hours in the afternoon to like do nothing. And I was actually like, holy shit, I could actually do nothing right now. Watched a couple episodes of The Golden Girls. Then I go into the green room here. So one of the bedrooms in my house is the green room. And for those of you that are on Patreon, you've seen, we have a great green room. Like, it's totally comfortable for all the guests. We got an espresso machine in there. We got a fully stocked fridge with whatever they want in there. We've got snacks in there. I've also got all my video game systems in there. So I've got my old school 8-bit NES Nintendo. I got Contra, I got Super Mario, I got the original baseball, I got Bases Loaded, I got, what else do I got? I got pro wrestling, a lot of the classics. I've got a Sega Genesis in there with Altered Beast and Ghouls and Ghosts and NBA Live and all that stuff. I've got a PlayStation 4 that Colin Moriarty got me. I've got a Nintendo Switch that a fan got me, and I think that's it on the video game department. Anyway, so I was like, I'm going to play some video games. So first I played my brother-in-law first I played my nephew in NBA 2K19. And I was thinking, maybe one of the rewards for people that are high-tier donors, maybe I would start giving out my handle on PlayStation 4, and every now and again I'd play people in NBA Live or NBA 2K, whatever it is, or in some other co-op games. I like co-op games where we're working together. I don't need to fight you and blow your brains out and spit your guts all over the place or punch a hooker. If we can work together to fix the world, that's more my thing. So if you can think of so my question is this. So first off, that Patron works. My nephew, my 9-year-old nephew, first off, he kicked my ass in NBA 2K. It was pathetic. He used the Warriors. Now, of course, you're using the Warriors. You got Thompson. You got Curry. Okay, I get it. You got Jesus Christ. Oh my God, Durant. They're unstoppable basically. I was using the '91 Trailblazers, which is probably it's my second favorite basketball team of all time, except for the '95 Rockets. And he just mopped me. I like to be beaten by 30 points by a 9-year-old is pathetic. Then I played my brother-in-law. He crushed me. Although he was the '93 Bulls, which you're using Jordan in his prime. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to play by myself. Like, what can I play? And everything. I don't want to run all over the place and have to spend all this mental energy on a world that I don't live in. I spend a lot of mental energy on this world here that I seem to be living in. So I ended up playing Pac-Man. I literally ended up playing Pac-Man on PlayStation 4 because I couldn't find something sort of mindless and simple. So if you got a simple, mindless game, that would be great. I also like just bullet hell shooters. So if you've got a couple good ones, I was playing R-Type and Resogun and a couple others. I don't really have time for any of this, frankly, but if you've got some good ideas, let me know. All right, guys. Here we go. My team wants me to do a little reset here. I'm giving shout-outs for anyone that donates at all. If you donate $5 and above, it doesn't matter. I'm giving live shout-outs, daverubin.com/donate. If you donate $25 or above monthly, you're going to get a limited edition Rubin Report Select Member shirt that will never be printed again. I think we have about 100 of them left. Probably less than that, maybe about 80 of them left. And you'd be cleaning out closet space for me, which would really be great because I don't have a garage anymore, so we don't have a lot of room around here. That would be great. We'll give you a t-shirt, and for $50 a month or more, you're going to get the t-shirt, and you're going to get a mug, and I'm going to sign it for you, and we're going to send it out to you this week. So do let me know what's going on over there. Canada loves you, Dave. Thank you. I love Canada. I get a ton of email from Canada. I did about 10 Canadian stops with JP in Canada, and I think Canada, there's an interesting resurgence of liberty in Canada, which is really interesting to me. Actually, we're going to have libertarian prime ministerial candidate, Maxime Bernier is going to be on the show. We were going to do it via Skype, but I just got an email this morning. He's coming here, coming directly to the studio. Maxime Bernier will be here within the next week or so. So we'll do that one. You know what? Let's jump over to the computer monitor, as it were. I'm going to hit refresh. Please tell me that you people have canceled this thing. You're killing me. You're killing me. Stop giving me money here. All right, we dropped 14 people. We're down to 1,757 people, still around $10,000. I don't know what I can do. What are you doing? Cancel this. Stop, please, people. You don't have to donate anymore, even on my website if you don't want, but please, let's end this thing. Why are we giving these people money? All right, let's see. Okay, shout out to James. Thank you very much. I'm a college student who goes to a campus that is extremely liberal, and I'm somewhat of a libertarian. Any advice for me not to get killed, but still have a bit of free speech? Well, that's the state of affairs. If you believe in liberty and freedom, and you don't want to bother anybody, and you don't want to take their shit, but you don't want them to take your shit, you might be getting killed. My advice would be this is the exact same advice that I give every college kid when I go to every college speaking gig that I do, which is be brave now. That's it. You must be brave now. You will not get out of college. Really, really hear this. I think this is the most true thing that I can possibly say. If you're in college right now and you're afraid to say what you think, do you think that it magically is going to get better? If you think things are screwed up, and maybe the generation before you is the one that screwed them up, do you think that it will magically get better by your silence? Do you think that the people who are loud right now will eventually give you an inch because of your acquiescence? No, they will keep taking and taking and taking, and that's why what happened to me with this Patreon thing was, all right, we could let them, they booted some people, and we maybe dropped the ball on some or ignored some, or that person was shady, or I didn't want to make that one the exact example of why I would stand up and defend the line. But then the line moves. The line moves, and if you're afraid to say what you think now, you're 18, you're 19 years old, and if you think that it will magically get better, it will not. It will get worse. We live in the most privileged, in the best sense of it. If you live in the United States, you are privileged. You are the freest person in the freest society that there possibly is. It doesn't mean you have everything. It doesn't mean you came from everything. It doesn't mean you'll attain everything. But you live in a place that will give you the opportunity to do all of the things that you want in your life, but it's on you to do them. It's on you to do them. So if you're 18 or 19 years old and you're in college right now and you're afraid to say what you think, if you don't do it now, it'll never get easier. Do you think when you get out of college in 3 years and now you got to pay rent, right? Well, you're going to suddenly be like, I'm going to tell the world what I think. And then 3 years later, you're married and you got a mortgage. I'm going to tell the world what I think. You got car payments and dog. Now you got kids. It's 3 months later, now, or 3 years later. Now you got all sorts of other payments, school payments and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to tell the world what I think. You won't. You won't. It's on you now. There's no better moment than right this moment to start saying what you think. And part of the reason that this SJW lunacy is spreading is because they're loud and they call everyone racist, so they've silenced good people. I assure you guys, look, I'm doing the best I can. I'm just doing what I think is right. I say that all the time. I am just one person. And guess what? I'm still here. And Douglas Murray, who I think is one of the greatest modern thinkers that we have, who I've had in this studio. If you haven't seen our interviews, watch it. And Douglas Murray talks about extremely controversial topics. He talks about radical Islam. He talks about immigration, a whole bunch of things. And he's gay and conservative in the UK. I asked him, well, what makes you so brave? Why are you willing to talk about these things? What you, meaning you, this person in front of me, why are you willing to talk about these things? And he said, and in a wonderful British accent that I can't quite do, but he said, you know, Dave, when you get in the pool, you might find out that the water is not that cold. I wish I could have done that with a little more of a Cockney Downton Abbey accent. But the point is that if you guys jump in, you might find out that all of the things that you fear are not as terrible. The monster isn't as terrible. And I'm not saying the monster doesn't exist, because it does exist. But we got to start fighting back together. And if you think at 18, if you're thinking about these things now, you know what, let's try it this way. Imagine if my advice was, you know what, suck it up. Suck it up, get out of college. Does that seem like the right advice? I don't think so. We'll see. Let's see. Always enjoy your perspective on what's going on in this crazy world. Come to Oklahoma City. We're figuring out the stand-up tour, so hang tight on Oklahoma City. Looking forward to seeing you in San Jose next week, and thanks for the meet and greet comps. I guess I gave you meet and greet comps. My pleasure. You said before that you're a Sinatra fan. What's your favorite song or album by Frank? I love the question. I love not getting always political questions. If you guys want to ask me anything else that's not political, that would be great too. Oh, quick shout-outs to Mary, to Kelly, to Philip. Thank you guys. DaveRubin.com/donate. Let me give you a shirt and a mug, people. I'm moving product, and we're officially deleting Patreon. We'll delete in, looks like it's going to be about an hour. We're going to delete this thing, or unless I just magically do it out of nowhere. I could just get sick of this and just be like, I'm hungry and I got to go. But we are deleting Patreon Live. I love the fact that there are these Silicon Valley people watching, oh my God, is he going to do it? When's he going to do it? What does this mean? It's ugh, it's so boring, the groupthink thing. It's just so boring. My favorite Sinatra song, by far, My Way. By far. Every word of that song is something that I try to live up to. It's just, I'm not going to sing it for you right now, but open up another YouTube tab and listen to My Way. And that is how I try to live my life. I don't always succeed at it. But it's just great. Listen to the line about regrets. Regrets, I've had a few. I mean, just listen. It's just perfection. But believe it or not, I actually think pound for pound, if I could only listen to Frank Sinatra or Dean Martin, if I had to choose between one of the two, I might go Dean Martin. I really, really love Dean Martin. Especially when David's cooking Italian. I could listen to Dean Martin all the time. Dean Martin's a little lighter. There's a little more play in Dean Martin than there is in Sinatra, and I really do love that. Oh, okay, sorry, Mary, Kelly, and Philip. I didn't realize you guys were mugs. Sorry, I'm gonna sign your mugs. What do I do with the pen? All right, here we go. Mary, you're getting a mug. By the way, guys, do not. I've been warned about this. If you put this mug with the signature in the dishwasher, it will rub off. So either hand wash it, or I was told if you bake them, but I don't want to be held legally responsible for this. If you bake the mug, that somehow the ink gets into the mug, and you'll be okay. So that is Mary, that is Kelly, and Philip, and you guys are all getting T-shirts as well. Thank you guys. All right, there we go. All right, you know what I said? I said 500 for a shot. We'll do 200 for a shot on Super Chat. Go for it. Shout out to you, Val. Thank you very much. Let's see. If he ever gets out of the embassy, Julian Assange would be a great guest. Yeah, I'd be happy to talk to him. I wonder if we could do that via Skype. He's done a couple interviews, I think. I would obviously be more than happy to do that. Hey Dave, I'm doing $50 a month. Have you had a chance to look at Christina Bijan's work? She's a professor at Oxford and wrote a book about political civility. The name actually does not ring a bell. I will tell you this. I went to, well, first off, guys, can we add her name to the list? Bijan, B-I-J-O-N. I went to Oxford twice in the last year. I spoke at Oxford Union, which the video is on YouTube, on their YouTube channel. It was one of the greatest honors that well, it might be the greatest professional honor that I've had. It was just an incredible place to be. I mean, if you go to Oxford, if you haven't been there, it looks like it's right out of Harry Potter. It's just incredible. And they have these small schools everywhere, and there's such a respect for learning and knowledge, and the libraries are incredible. And there's just young people everywhere who are interested in knowledge. It's actually amazing. I had what I think was one of my best public talks. It was extremely intimate and really lovely. I got asked some really challenging questions at the end, some really interesting stuff, and it was a pleasure to do that. And then I went back again with Jordan a couple months ago, and it's just a great place. And I've mentioned this before, but going around the world, in the last couple months, I was in Norway. I'll just mention the countries, not all the cities, but I was in Ireland, I was in Norway, I was in Sweden, I was in Denmark. I was in, did I say Ireland already? I was in the UK. Obviously, we're in the States. We were in Canada. We're going to be doing France and Germany, and we're trying to get to the Middle East and a whole bunch of other places in the next couple months. But seeing that these ideas permeate around the world and that people, I mean, try to think how cool it is that somebody, right now there's somebody in Brazil watching this, thinking a similar thought as someone in Iceland, who's thinking a similar thought as someone is in Jordan, as someone in Russia. I mean, that's actually incredible, and that's a really beautiful thing, and that's why the internet has to be protected, and that's why we have to protect free thought, and it's why we have to protect our ability to communicate with each other, so let's keep doing that. Kyle, you're getting a mug. All right, let's go. Keep fighting the good fight, Dave. All right, that's the plan. That is the plan. Kyle, you are getting a mug. Thank you very much. All right, quick reset since we're about an hour in. All right, you know what? Let's go to the computer over here. We are on the computer. Now, please tell me that we lost at least 100 people. I don't know what to do here to get rid of you people. 1757. We are down to 1756. That's right, people. In the 20 minutes since I did that, we lost one person, and I thank you. Whoever that is, you know what? I want to send that person a mug. We'll send that person a mug. If we can find out who that person is, I want to send them a mug and a T-shirt. If you just canceled on Patreon, thank you. I don't know what I could do for you guys. Do I have to send you guys money? Maybe I should start a Kickstarter to raise money, to give money to you people to cancel the Patreon thing. Lordy, lordy. A mug for Carrie. You're getting a mug, sister. Thank you for support. It's much appreciated. All right, people, I'm ready to do another shot of Patron. I don't know what's happened here. Let's make it happen. 200 on Super Chat, or you know what? 100 monthly on daverubin.com/donate will make it happen. I don't know. I'm just having fun here. Like, let's just keep rolling. You're a legend, Dave. Keep up the good work. Can't wait to see you in Australia. I really can't wait to go to Australia. I get a ton of email from Australia. Australia, I think, is our 4th most listened to country. Usually it's the United States, Canada, UK, and then I think Australia and Germany, or sometimes Australia and Sweden flip on that on the next most followed. Now, Sweden's a particularly interesting case because there's only about 10 people that live there, and I think I met everybody at the 2 shows with Jordan. The second show that I did with Jordan in Stockholm, which was an amazing theater, and they were 2 of my favorite shows. I really loved all the Nordic countries, actually. But the day before we did the second show with Jordan, the Swedish foreign minister, whose name is escaping me at the moment, might be Kristen something. She said that she wishes that Jordan Peterson would crawl back under the rock he came from. If the foreign minister of a Western country was upset that a clinical psychologist who talks about free speech and personal responsibility and the rights of the individual and defending the values of Western society, she wants him to crawl back under the rock that he came from. I mean, that's how stupid everything has gotten. Though I do have to thank her because I got a lot of good laughs at her expense. Super Chat, thank you for doing what you do, Dave. You got it. Hey, I signed up for $50 a month. I was wondering what your favorite car was. Man, these Teslas right now, have you guys been in these Teslas? They are unfreaking believable. Like, driving a Tesla and then driving any other car, the newest anything, and you will be like, wow, what a jump in technology. I mean, they are smooth and clean. There's no buttons. It's all on that huge screen. They're self-driving. You know, the Model X has the DeLorean-style wings. They're just absolutely like sick and cool. There's a ton of them here in LA. And on top of the fact that they're fully electric, obviously, and everything else. And Elon Musk shot one into space just because he could. I mean, that's something. The Minister of Foreign Affairs in Sweden is Margot Wallström. That's right, Margot Wallström. She is not Kirsten anything. I made that up. Let's see. When you interview Maxime Bernier, ask him about the dairy industry. He says he wants to follow in Australia's path. However, Australian farmers killed themselves in shocking numbers when they eliminated quotas. I will be totally honest with you. I don't know anything about that. Let me do a little research. I'll try to make it happen. Okay. Non-political question. Ginger or Marianne? Oh, sorry, I forgot. Gilligan or Skipper? What's wrong with you people? You know, like really, what kind of question is that? Skipper, obviously, but what's wrong with you? You know, it's just an odd question. Why are you asking that? Mug for Christian. All right. Here you go, Christian. Thank you, guys. You know, one of the things that you're also doing in the meantime, so we are building out this platform. As I said, we're trying to figure out ways to secure the monetization. We're trying to figure out ways to secure the video hosting, to secure not only that, but the web hosting. There's ways to decentralize that even. We're trying to figure out all of the pressure points and how do we deal with them systematically and make sure that we're taken care of on all fronts. We're trying to figure out what is a terms of service in 2019? What does a true terms of service look like? Should it be as simple as it's just you have to follow the laws of the United States, where we have no hate speech laws, but you can't, you know, make a terrorist threat or yell fire in a crowded theater or a criminal threat or direct violence, things like that. Could it be that? Well, there's an argument that that could be it. And I think that's a legit argument. But then what happens the day we open this platform? All of the racists and the white supremacists and all of these awful people, let's say they get on the site. Now, I'm not against them expressing their free speech. I think you guys obviously know that, even if I find their ideas abhorrent. The problem is that imagine now we start this site, and out of the first 2,000 accounts, 1,500 of them are these people because they've been banned off the other sites. Well, now, what is the entire media, and we know the media is just mostly a bunch of nonsense anyway, the entire media now jumps on board and is, oh, you see, Rubin and Peterson are running the alt-right racist website. And then, you know, we will hopefully have investors and board members and all that, and then all the pressure is applied on them. So we have to calculatingly and clearly think about what does a terms of service look like? How do you launch a new platform? Does a platform have to be launched that on day one everyone's on it? Or should it be, I'm coming around to this idea, that it would be a tiered invitation system. So let's say we launch with, say, 50 people, right? So let's say it's like sort of IDW people and adjacent people. And that's sort of the beta test version of it, right? As the creator, but anyone can sign on to follow a creator, but that's the creator tier. And then maybe over 3 months, as we're testing all things out, each creator gets 5 invites to 5 other creators. And then you exponentially grow from there. I think something like that could be interesting. I also think people are sick of the fact that anyone can get on anything and do whatever they want, and the whole thing's a free-for-all. I think actually people do like some rules, but they like them to be actually enforced consistently, not in this crazy way that they're enforced right now. Shout out to Cody. Thank you very much, Cody. If I remember correctly, you're a Blazers fan. I think the Blazers get rid of either Lillard or McCollum if they don't make a deep playoff push. So I'm an early 90s Blazers fan because Clyde Drexler was my favorite hero. If you weren't an NBA fan in the early 90s, Clyde the Glide was basically the number 2 shooting guard to Jordan for all of those years. And I just liked the guy. He was smooth. He didn't make a big stink about everything. He wasn't a showboater. He got his teams to the NBA Finals twice, in 90 against the Pistons, in 92 against the Bulls, and then in 91 they made it to the Western Conference Finals against the Lakers. He lost a couple of championships, and by the time he was really an old guy, 32 years old. In 95 he was traded to the Houston Rockets, where he had played for the Houston Cougars, Phi Slamma Jamma with Hakeem Olajuwon. He was traded to Houston and he won a championship. That's my favorite team of all time. So I don't know exactly how much is going on with the Blazers right now. I don't want Lillard to overtake Clyde, though, in all-time Blazers scoring. So I'm hoping that's not going to happen. Okay, there we go. I'm dying to take you and Jordan out for a beer. Let me know when you're going to be in Vegas. I do a show on the Strip. I'd love to drink my Crown Royale from your autographed mug. The autographed mug does go well with Crown Royale. We didn't make it to Vegas. I don't know. You know, there's a couple cities that people have asked about that I'm not totally sure why this or that didn't happen. You know, there's all sorts of considerations on a tour that they try to figure out, and I don't know exactly what the answer to that was. All right, here we go. I'm going to jump back to the computer screen there. We're trying to get you people off Patreon, so I'm going to hit refresh. Come on, people. Tell me you dropped on Patreon. I don't want money on Patreon. 1756 and 1755. This is going to be the longest. This is going to be the live stream from hell, people. I'm trying to get you people to cancel. I don't know what I can do. I'm deleting it either way. So no matter what happens at 7 o'clock tonight, a couple minutes before 7, I'll do it. You know, look, I could leave this thing up and just cash in on that. And I could probably cash in on it for a long time because people sign up for things and forget. I'm obviously not going to do that. But I would love to see more people cancel this thing, at least. But in the meantime, as we roll out a whole bunch of this stuff, we are moving people over to my website. So if you donate $5 or more, I'm giving you a shout out right now. It's daverubin.com/donate. $25 or more a month, you're getting a t-shirt. $50 or more a month, you're getting a signed autographed mug. And yeah, let's do another shot of Patron. I'm feeling it at this point. Let's make it happen. Let's see. I just got here. Are you aware of YouTuber Law's FTC complaint? He's working against Patreon and PayPal. Would you have him on your channel? So I know of this video, and I've heard about this guy. I actually haven't watched it yet, but it sounds like there might be some legal issue related to collusion or something like that. I need to know a little bit more about it before I specifically comment on anything. Look, my preference on all of these things would not be going through legal routes, although sometimes there's a need to do it, and going through governmental force. Although I guess sometimes perhaps there's a need to do it. I know that sets bells off with the libertarian set. My preference would be that human ingenuity and creativity and the human mind will resolve problems. I think that's the way it's always been done in the best ways in human history, and I think that's what can be done here. Mug time. Jim, you're getting a mug. There you go, Jim. Thank you very much. Welcome to the team, and a shout out to Nicole. Thank you very much. Let's see. Super chat. I got called a white supremacist alt-writer today for retweeting Dave's tweet about Family Guy self-censoring gay jokes due to SJW pressure. The world is upside down. So if you haven't seen this, I tweeted this yesterday. There was an article in Entertainment Tonight or one of these type of sites that the producers of Family Guy have decided that they're going to phase out gay jokes. Now, I tweeted about this because I want you to really think about how bananas this is. And when people say, oh, this SJW stuff doesn't matter and this free speech stuff doesn't matter and it's just happening on college campuses and it's just a bunch of kids and all of that, this is why it is utter and complete nonsense. We need humor to laugh at things. We need the ability to release some steam sometimes. We need to be able to make fun of people and sometimes groups and all these things, so to show that we're all equal. Watch Don Rickles doing comedy. Go on YouTube later and watch Don Rickles do comedy, and he made fun of everybody. He made fun of Jews and gays and Christians and white trash and Asians and everybody. And it made everyone in the audience realize, whoa, we're all part of the American experiment. But what the left is doing by judging us so intensely on our immutable characteristics is these are the people who are obsessed with our differences and they want us to be exactly the same at the same time because their ideology has no logic, and that's why they're so angry all the time, and that's why they're so bitter and resentful, and that's why they're always trying to deplatform people because they don't want to debate ideas. So the problem with this Family Guy thing is that, first off, let's just put aside whether Family Guy's funny or anymore. It had a couple good years for sure. I really respect Seth MacFarlane, basically. I like the guy. I think he's probably a decent guy. He has made millions and millions, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars, I have no idea, on being politically incorrect. Think about the characters, the old gay child molester that always wants to molest Chris. Mort Goldman is the worst Jewish stereotype you can possibly imagine. The other two gay guys in the show, the episode where Peter becomes gay, everything in the show is an awful stereotype. But it's either funny or it's not funny, but that's up for you to decide. For them to say, we've now, and I'm not saying Seth made this decision specifically, and by the way, I've invited him on the show many times. I would love to sit down with him, and I'm not judging him specifically for this. But the machine of Family Guy made a ton of money being offensive to all sorts of people. And now, we're in our twilight. Nobody really cares about us anymore. Now we're going to turn against what we've done. This is like when you see Sarah Silverman now chide comedians for being politically incorrect. Or I remember when Milo's book was coming out, she was tweeting about that Simon & Schuster should drop the book. So now we have comedians for getting rid of books. That's pretty close to book burning. That's the modern sense of book burning. That has nothing to do with anyone's feelings about Milo. These people have become hysterical and the hectoring things that they should be making fun of. If George Carlin was alive today, what do you think George Carlin would be doing about bad ideas? He'd be mocking them, not demanding that we don't tell jokes about certain things or we don't let certain people publish books. That's the whole reason I got back into stand-up, even though it was like the last thing that I wanted to do. I want people to see that you can laugh about these things. And guess what? I go up there and I look around the crowd and I make fun of everybody, and then that includes myself. So I think we can fix this stuff, but I think we can fix it through comedy mostly. So come out to one of my stand-up shows. January 30th, I'll be at the Irvine Improv. daverubin.com/events. Shout out to Jason. Thank you very much. on Super Chat, your biggest issue will be that PayPal, Visa, and MasterCard, sorry, I want to read this correctly. Your biggest issue will be PayPal, Visa, and MasterCard that force you to shut down, not the backlash if you go 100% free speech. No one can pay you then, and that's how you shut you down. So I may have missed a word in there. Okay, so this is an issue, right? So if right now at daverubin.com/donate, if you use your credit card, you can donate through Stripe, which is PayPal. You know, it's credit card, so you can donate through any credit card. It's a payment processor. I have no reason to think that Stripe is going to get rid of me, although they have gotten rid of some other people, but I have no reason to think that's going to happen to me. But this isn't just about me, obviously. I have no reason to think that PayPal is going to get rid of me. And again, just think about this for a second. Let's pretend you're right, and you might be right. If we're really worried that someone like me, let's say, could actually potentially be stopped from making financial transactions in the United States, then think about the level of tyranny we're really talking about. And if you're saying that's here now, well, then again, we better start talking about this shit, and fast. So I do think the answer is partly lies within crypto. We are now taking Bitcoin on right there below PayPal and the credit card thing. You can see our Bitcoin wallet. It's on there. And as I said, I'm also talking to a whole bunch of other payment processors. There's creative ways people have figured out to do all sorts of commerce online. And we're exploring all of those options. So hang tight. But if you are right, and if you're watching this and you think that guy's comment might be right, then man, we better fix this quick. Otherwise, we're far more screwed than you might think. Okay. I donated $5 a month and I didn't get a shout out. I'm sad now. Anyway, best shooter ever is Radiant Silvergun. It was a Saturn game. I missed the Sega Saturn. We were doing shout outs if you do it at daverubin.com/donate. So you might have done it on Super Chat because that's where I just saw that. So unfortunately, I don't know your name. You didn't say it there. Okay, let's see. Any news on the Patreon replacement? My whole platoon at Fort Bliss, Texas is wondering when you will be in Texas next. Well, first off, thank you guys for your service, most importantly. Did a whole bunch of shows with Jordan in Texas. We did Dallas, we did San Antonio, which I loved. I had never been there before. I've been to Dallas a bunch of times. We did Houston, which was really cool to be in. It was humid as fuck there. It is hot in the summer in Houston. I will definitely be back there. I think I'm going to do a public event with Glenn Beck at some point, probably in the Dallas area. And I should look into doing some stand-up in Texas, so hang tight on that. Okay, let's see. Where are we at? Please tell me we dropped at least 2 people. You're killing me here, people. What do we got on Patreon right now? We're at 1,755. I'm clicking refresh. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Dropped 6 people, but our money went up. Our money went up. Am I correct? I'm correct. What was our money at before? We just went up like $1,000 on Patreon. What the? This is the internet. This is as internet-y as it gets. This is the internet. I am trying to lose money on Patreon, and our money on Patreon is going up. You're funny. Whoever you are, and I'm assuming it's one person. Points for you. You know what? This is messed up. I don't want to do this, but just because the person's that's a high-level troll who puts their money where their mouth is. We know who it is. We'll figure it out because you donated on Patreon, so we get an email. I'm giving you a mug, even though that's really messed up. You're getting a mug, you motherfucker. All right, there you go. You're getting a mug. The money's going up. Ridiculous. All right, guys. We got about 40 minutes left. A little bit before 7, I will delete Patreon. No matter, I could be at $25,000 a month. We're going to delete this thing. I do not know what to say to people like you. Let's see. The book, The Coddling of the American Mind, is an amazing book. It's a must-read during these times. Well, I've had, that's Jonathan Haidt, who I've had on the show years ago. We almost had him back on 2 weeks ago. He was in LA, but we couldn't quite work it out. I will definitely get him back on. Hang on that. Marchin, thank you. Is that my old friend Marchin from New York? Could that be him? I used to have an old buddy, Marchin, M-A-R-C-I-N, in New York. Is that him? Could that be you? You got a signed mug, my friend. Oh, I think you just did a shout out, but you know what? You're probably getting a mug because I read that off the wrong thing. Okay, let's see. Up, $99.99. Take a shot. Love you, Dave. Mad respect. You know what? For doing $99.99, a shot of Patron for you. There you go. We don't mess around here. This is a pretty big shot glass, too. All right, we're going to get a little salt. Here we go. All right, a little salt. A little Patron. I like tequila. I do like tequila. I'm a red wine drinker, as most of you guys really know. I like Napa Reds mostly, or Northern Cali Reds. Although I really like Italian Reds lately, so I really only drink wine. But I do like tequila when it comes around. I think it's a different Martin. He was known as Martin, even though it was Marcin or Marchin. But I believe it's a different Marchin. But hello, Marchin. How are you? Okay. Bad Boys Pistons versus up-and-coming Bulls was my favorite NBA time. Made you laugh with the Ginger Mary question. That was the point. All right, there you go. Yeah, you know, I hated those Pistons. The Bad Boys Pistons. To me, that wasn't basketball. I hated Bill Laimbeer. They also beat my Blazers in 1990, which was a very underrated series. All the games were within 2 or 3 points. At one of the games, I think it was game 3. Was it game 3? It was I think it was game 4 or 5. Danny Young, who was a scrub backup on the Blazers, he hit a shot at half court that would have got the game into overtime that they waved off at the buzzer. But it was a great series. Shout out to Ricardo. Welcome on board, Ricardo. Let's see. Is Ian McGilchrist on your radar yet? His book is enlightening in the way it explores how our divided brain alters behavior, culture, and society. You know, the name sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't say he fully is. Guys, can we put Ian McGilchrist on the list? $100. This is the weirdest pledge drive I've ever seen, LOL. I'm trying to lose money, in effect, at some level, I suppose, and we're gaining money. If I press this right now and there's more money in there, I'm actually going to punch the camera. Here we go. We have 1,749 patrons, $10,620. All right, let's see it drop. Let's see it drop. Wait a minute, what happened there? We lost 5. We lost $5, people. That's what I'm talking about. Lost $5. How many people did we lose there? Couple people? We lost $5. Whatever you do, please, people, I implore you, for the sake of free speech in America, for the future of the First Amendment, do not donate at patreon.com/Rubin Report. I'm deleting it. Don't go there. I mean, go there to delete, but don't go there for anything else. We got to end this thing. It's a nightmare. Shout out to Kim. Thank you very much, Kim. I'm starting to wish you chose January for your annual social media blackout. That's funny. That's funny. I do August off the grid. You know, I'm going to really push, I think, this year, as many people as possible to join me on this thing. I do a 30-day cleanse. I mean, that's the only way I can describe it. Completely off the grid. No phone. I lock my phone in a safe, which I don't know the code to. No television, which it's almost impossible to avoid television. It's really hard to avoid news, because A, you got to tell everybody that you're not listening to the news, because I try not to get anything in my brain during that. You know, I'm doing other things, but I try not to get the day-to-day news in my brain, because we're just endlessly hit with information. I don't think this is the way we were always wired to be. Maybe it's the future, it's the next evolution of being a human, but I don't think it's supposed to be like this all the time. But I realize the hardest part of being off the grid is that everywhere that there is a muted television, there is CNN. Every airport, muted television, CNN. Every burger joint, muted television, CNN. You go to the gym, muted television, CNN. If it was, I don't know that anyone's listening to CNN with the words, which would be, it's hilarious if you do. Yeah, I highly recommend doing a little off the grid thing. I try to do it on the weekends too, to the best degree that I can, not as strictly as I did in August. But this August, I think I'm going to try to get as many people as possible to do it. A shout out to Keith. What are we doing here, guys? Quick reset. We're moving everybody off Patreon, and we're trying to get people to daverubin.com/donate. It is the first of about 5 steps over the next couple months that I'm doing to get true independence, to have true sort of ownership over our content and audience and the rest of it. We're going to remain fully funded by you guys, which is fantastic. I have no boss. No one has ever told me anything to do or say on this show. We do what we want. I do what I think is right for all the positives and negatives of all of that. So we are doing a little fundraising here today and then deleting Patreon. $25, you're getting the last remaining Rubin Report Patreon Select t-shirts. And I'm going to sign a mug for you for $50 or more a month. Shout out to Raymond. Thank you very much. Hey, Dave, is Gillette the best a man can get? I mean, Gillette's like, I've just had it with you people. You know what I mean? It's like you don't have to turn on half the people to bow to the social justice god. You don't have to make men look toxic. And it's just ridiculous pandering idiocy. And you know, it's interesting, there's this meme of go get woke, go broke, implying that the companies are going to fail because of this. I don't know that that's actually true. Maybe they are making more money because of this. But it's not good and it's not right. And guess what? I don't give a shit about the politics of the company I get my razors from. Although I can tell you that going forward, I would go out of my way not to buy a Gillette product, for sure. It's like Ben & Jerry's did that Resist ice cream. I don't even think Ben & Jerry's is that good anymore. I really like McConnell's ice cream, which is a creamery in Santa Barbara up here. I don't know that they're all over, that they're nationwide, but if you live in the California area and probably West Coast, McConnell's ice cream is awesome. They got a cookies and cream that is fantastic and a sea salt something or other that is amazing. But anyway, it's like, all right, if you guys are putting all in that we're going in #resist, it's like, I just don't want to give you my money. And then people will say, well, Dave, you're a hypocrite because you still eat a Chick-fil-A. It's like, Chick-fil-A isn't putting, we're against gay marriage on their chicken sandwiches. The owner once gave a couple $100 to some anti-gay marriage thing or something to that effect. It's like, who cares? People are allowed to do private things in their private lives. And it's like, you guys think that if you could only control the way everybody thinks and the way everyone behaves, that the world would be better. And I think the world would actually be much worse. I don't care what anyone does or thinks, as long as they don't do it to me or on my property. Just don't touch me. That's really all I ask. Let's go to Patreon and watch this thing dump out, because I know you people are canceling for me. So right now we're at 1,747 patrons. We're at $10,615. Please have dropped. We're up $52. Look, I get what the internet is. You know, I get it. You're funny. You're funny people. Having a good time. You know, watching the live stream. You know, watching the YouTuber do YouTube. You're killing me. I have to leave this thing. I have to go. Please stop putting money there. You think this is funny? This isn't funny. This is my life. $50 on Super Chat. Sign the mug to my wife. Just Fee, F-E. Saw you in Orlando and loved it. And don't be a wuss. Slam that tequila like we do in Texas. All right, Fee, you're getting a mug. Fee's getting a mug. Fee is a great lady. Fee, F-E. And I'm putting an exclamation point for her because I feel good about Fee. And I'm signing the mug. That Orlando show was one of my favorite shows. I say it about a lot of the shows, and I do mean it when I say it. That Orlando show was fantastic. That theater was gorgeous. I think those Disney, it was like the Disney something theater. I think the Disney people are going to be okay financially, by the way. That was a great show. We did 4 shows in 4 nights in Florida, and that Orlando one has stuck out. The ones that really stuck out with me, the Atlanta one because it was Jordan's birthday. Orlando was amazing. Grand Rapids, Michigan, I think might have been the best show we did. And the first time we were in Calgary, we blew the roof off the place. It was actually legitimately crazy. It was bananas bonkers. Shout out to Raymond. Thank you very much. Okay. Thanks for standing on principle, Dave. Yeah, my pleasure. Do you think there is hope to end this far left path that we're on? First off, I got to take some water. I'm choking. So I cannot believe people are still donating to Patreon. This is like, I feel like I'm in a dream. I'm in actually an episode of Black Mirror. This is Black Mirror. This is it. We're in Bandersnatch right now. You guys are picking my future. You know what I mean? Like, this is bananas. The question was, what the hell was the question? Oh, there was a question there. What? What? It's there. Ah! Do you think there's an end to the far left path we're on? Look, this thing has to implode. one way or another. The question is, how bad will it get before it implodes, and how much power it will attain before it implodes? That is the true question here. When Cortez or some of these people talk about 70% marginal tax rate, and then people scream, well, they should have it, and they're not going to take 70% of your money. They mean above $10 million. Now let's pretend. Now I don't make $10 million. I don't make $1 million a year. Let's pretend for a second that that you made $10 million a year. Let's pretend you made $20 million. Person watching this right now, you figured out how to do something. You created something of value. You made a product. You made a candy bar. You made a video game. You sold a wine. You are an incredibly successful locksmith. Whatever the hell you are, you're now making $15 million a year. Now, basically, the federal government, when you're making that much money, you're in the top 1%, let's say. I'm just doing rough numbers here. The government is going to tax you at basically 37% right now at that point. Now, if you own your own business, you can write off some stuff, and let's say you can get that down to about 30%. What she's proposing is that over $10 million that you take in, the government should take 70% of that. Now, for young people and the socialist crew of America, that all sounds good. You don't need that money. You don't deserve that money. You didn't build that, all of those things. And it just sounds right. It sounds right, like you should give back more. Why do you need that much money? Except that has nothing to do with truth or what's right. What right does someone have because they feel, because some government bureaucrat feels that they should take from you who created to give to someone who did not create, even if their intentions are good? What gives them the right to do it? I would say they have no right to do it. But this is the new left. And some would argue this is the old left, like some old school. I think if Prager was sitting here or Shapiro, they'd say this is what it always was. I don't know that it always was this way, because I think there used to be a decent left. And I think it's important that we have a decent left once again. This is a horrible set of ideas, and that's not just the only part of this that's a horrible set of ideas. The fact that Tamika Mallory, who was one of the leaders of the Women's March, was on The View yesterday or the day before and couldn't condemn outright Louis Farrakhan, who calls Jews cockroaches and a zillion other things. And he's also met with, what's her name, up in California, the other congresswoman, I'm blanking on her name for a second. And all of these people, they're in bed with a lot of bad people. And you can see this thing coming, and it judges us all in our worst ways, and it believes that the state is the ultimate power. And think of the irony of this. Trump is in charge. These are the same people who think that Trump is a Russian asset. And if you agree that Trump is a Russian asset, and I say this as someone that did not even vote for Trump, but if you believe that Trump is a Russian asset, you actually think we're at World War III right now. What could be a higher declaration of war than having installed the President of the United States? So if you think it's a good idea that we should impeach the President or something to that effect, or if you think really that Russia installed the President of the United States, then understand what you believe is the path to World War III. Now, if they did install the President, then all right, I guess we're on the path to World War III. Or could this just be a bunch of paranoid lunacy for a bunch of people who were in power and lost power? And that's why I would say that the best answer to any of this is limit power. Limit power, and what that means is that when your guy's in power, not that much will change. But guess what? It's pretty damn good in America. Yeah, it is. And what that also means is when the guy that you don't like is in power, not that much bad can change. And guess what? It's pretty good in America. So that's the negotiation to live in a free, stable Western society. It can move on the margins. But when Cortez gets out there and says, I'm going to tax these people at 70%, and says to Joe Lieberman, who dis, you're the future, you're the past, it's like you think that basically a bartender thinks that she knows how to run the world. And by the way, if you think that she's the one really tweeting all of this stuff, or that there isn't a whole congregation of people that decide what she can tweet, I think you're sorely mistaken. But again, I will 100% be glad to interview her and treat her with the exact same respect I would treat any other guest. We will air it live. I won't even use questions. I will sit here with nothing other than myself and talk to her. I would be happy to do that. Okay, let's go back to the Patreon thing, and please, for God's sakes, people, please tell me there's no more money there. This is a nightmare. We're in Black Mirror. We have 1,745 people, $10,667. Oh, you motherfuckers. This is fucked up. All right, we're entering a fucked up phase, okay? That's where we're at. We're getting to a place where this is not good, and nobody's happy about this. It's not good. It's not. Why are you doing this? This is the internet. This is the internet. We're here. We're on the internet. We're doing it. I'm trying to cancel this thing. I don't like this company. I don't want them to have any more success. I'm trying to stick a line in the sand, and you people think it's hilarious. You people. Well, Juliet, you're getting a mug. Thank you very much. And thank you for donating at daverubin.com/donate instead of Patreon. They're no good. They don't like free speech. They're getting 5% of your money, you people who are doing this now to be funny. We got 24 more minutes, and then I'm pressing delete on this freaking thing. Super chat, $200. They want me to do a shot. Dave, I enjoyably spent hours trying to figure out what is going on within each of your studio's paintings. I love them. I loved hearing that. So all of my painting, not all of them, but most of the paintings. So this one right here, which is it's about 3 foot by 5 foot. This is an original. This is an absolute original. This is done by Caylin Janet. You can go to Caylin Rose Janet, Caylin, rosejanet.com. She's an incredible artist who has done some amazing stuff in my house. Almost everything in my house is from her. This painting, which we commissioned just for the set, obviously, I wish I could explain it in a proper sense. If you go to her site, I think she explains the process. She knows how much I love coffee, so there's actual coffee grinds in the painting, which is what's giving it some of the texture over there. And I wanted something that felt a little futuristic-y, so that's why you're getting those stark lines. And then I want it to feel like a little bit sort of like the universe and sort of messy and interesting. So anyway, that's her. And Aaron, if we can go to the guest shot right now, the regular guest shot, the painting on the other side, if we can go to that one, I'm not sure we can right now. We can't go to that one right now? Oh, we can't, right, because we moved the camera, that's right. She did the one on the other side that you normally see behind the guest's head. Also on her site, you can see she did an incredible, it's 4 foot by 5 foot hyperspace. So the Millennium Falcon going into hyperspace. She did an original for us. She painted it over days in our house, which was a freaking crazy labor of love. She had to make a protractor using a string and a piece of wood. She's an incredible, incredible artist, and you get prints of all of these on there. I don't get a penny for them, and she's just a wonderful artist. CaylinRoseJanet.com. Okay, you know what? Because you asked about the paintings, you gave $200. All right, I'm going to do a shot. I hope you're happy, and please, people, stop donating at patreon.com/Rubin Report. I've got a life to live. I've got to end this thing, end this nightmare, this Bandersnatch. This is what the internet is. I'm in the choose your own adventure of the internet. All right, here we go. All right, the other guy wanted me to do this fast, so here we go. Here's this like we do it in Texas. There's that. There's that. There's that. All right, love you, Dave. Super chat, I love you. Daniel, you're getting a shout out. Super chat, hook a brother up with the mug. Please come back to Atlanta soon. How'd I do that? That was pretty good. Hook a brother. Is it B-R-O-T-H-A? Hook a brother? I feel like I did good on that. You got it. Super chat, yes, Orlando is the best. Come back soon. I would love to come back. I love all of those, the Disneylands and your Universal Studios and things like that. We got them here too. Super chat, thanks for standing on principle, Dave. Yeah, you know what? I guess what's cool actually right now, despite the fact you people keep giving me money on Patreon, even though I ask you not to, is that I'm standing up for something that I believe in. I'm having a ton of fun right now. This is kind of fun, and I'm a little drunk. But like, beyond all of that, it's like, guess what? When you this is what I quoted Douglas before. When you dare get in the pool, you might find out that the water is not that cold. And that, I think, is the truth. I think what you guys are seeing right now, I've got people all over the world in super chats and on Patreon, you motherfuckers, and all over the place that are giving me money, having fun, enjoying watching this. And it's just because I stood up for what I believe in. I think you can do it too. Like, maybe the truth does set you free. Somebody must have said that, right? Somebody said that. Dave, serious question. Are there any creators on Patreon that you're disappointed haven't joined the Patreon purge? No. No. The answer to no. Everyone has their own considerations. I want to be very clear about that. Someone tweeted me about this today, and I retweeted it with comment. Someone said something to the effect of, oh, you know, Sam Harris deleted his immediately, and you and Jordan, it's been a couple weeks, and you're tweeting about it, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, first off, I think you guys know my feelings about Sam. I have nothing but respect for him. He's a good friend, and I have admiration and love for the guy. I don't know exactly what his business considerations are, so he was able, I don't know what his personal finances are or anything else. I genuinely don't know for as well as I know him. He deleted his on principle. I have truly nothing but respect for that. I have a different situation here in that I have a company that I'm running that most of the money of the income from the company was coming from our fan funding, okay? So we have different considerations. Jordan has different considerations as well. You guys have different feelings about all of us, about where you want to spend your hard-earned money, and I do believe it is your hard-earned money. So anyone that's on there, whether Brett's staying on there right now, or Colin's staying on there, Sword and Scales on there, a whole bunch of other people who I think are doing good stuff and trying to fight the fight the same way that I'm trying to fight it. For all I know, maybe Jordan and I leaving, maybe the people at Patreon right now, look, I know a bunch of the cowards there are probably looking around going, oh, I hope nobody notices that I actually like Dave and Jordan and I'm not a programmed robot and an NPC. But there are people there that are probably happy that the headache of Peterson and Rubin and Harris is gone. But I don't make my decisions based on who might think I'm a headache. So that's that. And as I said, maybe those guys will be able to change things from the inside. Anything that's a movement that matters, people do it in different ways. People did the civil rights movement in different ways. Some people wanted to do it one way, some people want to do it another. Anything that matters. And I truly believe we're in a battle for free speech. And if some people say you have to stay inside the institutions and fight, some people want to fight from the outside, it's like, it's all good. It's all good. These people are my allies and my friends, and I mean allies in the best sense of it. I don't mean ally because they bow to me forever. If there is more money on Patreon right now, well, it's not gonna be pretty, people. Here we go. I am trying to cancel this thing. I'm going to, $10,895, 1,745 patrons. Please, for the love of God, let those numbers be going down. They're up. They're up again. We went up 2 people and we went up about 20 bucks. Is that right? Well, I hope you're happy. Okay, can't afford 50 bucks because I'm saving for psychology grad school after discovering my interest through Jordan. Any chance I could get a leftover mug if there is one? Star Wars Episode 9, no hope. All right, first off, let's give this guy a mug. I'll sign it right now. Can we get we have to figure out how to get your email. So hopefully that can be tied into your super chat address. I will gladly give you a mug, no problem. Episode 9, no hope. So I'm glad you asked this question because let's talk about something else besides free speech and the rest of it for just a sec. So David, my husband, had a minor surgery over the last couple of days, which on top of as busy as we've been about a zillion things, I've also had his brother and sister-in-law here and his mom here, and everyone's been taking care of him, and I've been trying to do the best I can do too, and everything else. He's completely fine. He's going through a little recovery right now. It's all good. But he had a little time to watch TV. We watched the prequels. Now, I've been saying for a couple of years now that I think years from now, the prequels are going to be looked at very fondly, very differently than they're looked at now. Is the acting bad? Yes. Is the script stiff? Yes. But is the story of those prequels, of what the accumulation of power and then the flipping of power, because that's really what it's about. It's an incredible personal story of the development of Anakin Skywalker, but what it's really about is that the Emperor, Palpatine, was accumulating power through political processes, through creating crises that then, at the last moment, I mean, this is what Revenge of the Sith is about, he then accumulates enough power to get rid of the opposition. That's sort of what we're dealing with right now. It's an incredible political story. What's his name? Hayden Christensen is a horrible actor. Natalie Portman is absolutely terrible in this. I'm not a big fan of hers anymore for a couple political reasons, but I grew up in the same town as her, actually, and we went to the same high school. I'm sure she's a lovely woman, but I'm not a huge fan at the moment. But anyway, I think people, if you look at the prequels, and they're missing little moments, like we needed to know who Count Dooku was a little bit more. They needed to tell us a little bit more about Sifo Dyas and why he went to the cloners originally, a couple little things. But if you remove some of that stuff, the stories are actually great. Force Awakens, I think, is a fantastic movie. I think J.J. Abrams did an incredible lift of resetting the entire thing. And Last Jedi is just horrendous. It's horrendous at every level. Purple-haired Laura Dern. Why wasn't that Admiral Akbar at his last moment of glory? Instead, you kill him off camera. Leia, there's no force in space. Who the hell's Snoke? Now, Rey has no parents. What's his name? FN2817. Finn has no point in the whole movie. His whole adventure that he goes on at the casino with the SJW girl, they have no point in the movie. They fail, and then they just end up back there with him in the end. The movie's absolute crap. Luke is a grumpy old fool. Why at that point does he project himself there instead of showing up to the final battle? If he was going to die either way, let the guy freaking die in a blaze of glory. The whole thing was lazy. It was I think Rian Johnson basically is resentful of Star Wars. All that being said, I think JJ can fix it for Episode 9, and I really hope that he does. We shall see. All right, I can do it. I think I can do 2 more shots. We got 15 minutes. I think I can do 2 more shots. So it's going to have to be $200 on any format. So whether it's Patreon, no, not Patreon. It cannot be Patreon. No Patreon, people. We're not doing Patreon, okay? I can do 2 more shots, but you have to do it at daverubin.com/donate. You can do it on PayPal. You do it on credit card. You can do it on Bitcoin. I don't care at this point. Please do not do it on Patreon. Shout outs to Herschel. Shout outs to Ben and a mug for Jacob. Herschel, Ben, and Jacob. We just went to a shtetl in Poland in 1860. All right, there you go, brother. I signed that one on the front for you. That's a rare one. Jacob, you're getting one on the front. Exasperated Rubin is the best Rubin. Love you, man. Okay. Donating $10 towards having Matt Christensen on the Rubin Report. We will do that. A bunch of you have asked. We will do that for sure. Let's see. Dave, please briefly remind the newly joined viewers how they can support you since you're moving away from Patreon. I think I've been trying to do that. daverubin.com/donate. We are building out several things. We are rebuilding my website. It is going to be completely insulated from censorship on the video hosting front, on the platform hosting front, on the monetization front. That is just one step of getting away from Patreon and these third-party people who don't live up to the ideals that I live up to. I'm not asking the government to get involved. And that is one step onto building a platform and then several other steps down the road. I promise you this is just the beginning of several markers. We're going to do something cool here. Like, why not, right? Like, I'm alive, you're alive, let's do it. Okay, $200, no comment with donation, but time for another shot. You. All right, here we go. Getting too old for this shit, you know what I mean? Here we go. Patron for Patreon. Woo! And now, ladles with jelly spoons, I'm going to click refresh on the page here. Here we go. Right now, we have 1,747 people. We're getting $10,904. Please, if there is a God in the universe, let that number go down. We went up $4. Are you happy, $4 person? You know what I mean? Oh, God, another 200. No, not now. All right, hold on. I literally can't do another shot right now. I'm a red wine drinker, too, and I'd love to do a celebratory shot with you. Keep up all the great work. Cheers to a beautiful future. I'll display my mug one shelf higher than my Michael Knowles signed leftist tier mug tumbler. I appreciate that. Very nice. Stick it to that Knowles guy, that right-wing maniac, that alt-right maniac. Yeah, talking about you, Knowles. $50 in Canadian dollars. Can I get a mug? I mean, what is 50 Canadian dollars worth in American? $6, $7? I don't know what I can do for that guy. $20. Let's get Dave over $11,000 on Patreon. No, you're not good. You're not a good person. What's your thought on the Captain Marvel movie? I haven't tracked this thing at all, but I know what's her name's in it, Brie Larson. I think she's a good actress. But is it connected to Avengers? It is, right? Like, she's going to have some big role in Avengers. Infinity War, by the way, was phenomenal. I have been on a lot of planes in the last couple of months. I've seen Infinity Wars about 20 times, and it's perfect. It's pretty much perfect as a superhero movie. It's so worth donating to your telethon to watch you load up on tequila. Love you and your spirit on spirits. Way to upstage poke in a honky. Poke in a honky. Love from Jamie and Janine. Poke in a honky. Pokey in a honky? Whatever it is that you wrote there, I feel like it was something that I should have understood, and I probably just said it wrong, but I thank you for that. When the Patreon replacement is up, will it be announced on the Subscribe Star site, or will it be a mass social media explosion? And what do you think about the Women's March controversy? All right, the Women's March thing, I think it's pretty obvious. Look, the intersectional oppression Olympics thing, it's crumbling because they literally are like, wait a minute, how can we treat Jews? Sure, they've been pogromed and holocausted and been the other for the longest history of anything. But now they're kind of successful over the last 50 years, especially in America. How should we treat them, despite the fact there might be my brother-in-law happens to be a brown Jew. How should we treat these people? This is the essence of what collectivism is. It is the new racism. Progressives are the new racists. If you want to see something incredible, by the way, look at my Twitter from about, I think, 3 or 4 tweets ago. David Webb, who is a conservative who happens to be black, I'm doing his Fox Nation show, I think, on Thursday. He was on, it was either his show or another show, I'm actually not sure, because I had such a crazy day, I was just catching these little clips. He was on with Areva Martin. Areva Martin happens to be a lovely woman who's also black. She's been on my show years ago. She's a progressive. They get on the show together, they're doing radio, so she doesn't know, apparently she didn't know who he was or anything about him. He goes on and on about something, and then she goes, well, you're showing your white privilege. This literally happened today. And David Webb, who is a black conservative, who is a really great guy who I've drank a lot of freaking bourbon with, that he usually pays for, that's extremely expensive. He goes, well, Areva, do you know that I'm black? And then you got to listen to the rest of this. It's incredible because progressivism is the new racism. Understand this. If you understand this, you will almost be able, that is almost the key you need to unlock almost everything that's happening in America. The people that are peddling racism, that will want to institutionalize racism, who want white people to bow to them, and who hate Christianity, and who hate anything that's remotely traditional or conservative, and I say this as a gay Jew, you know what I mean? I don't say this as one of these people that's trying to push anyone to believe anything. This is what this thing has become. And it's seriously dangerous and crazy. It is 6:52. I am going to check this thing, and I don't like anyone that has gone on to this freaking thing. Oh, we're getting into dangerous territory. Where's my mouse? Mouse? Is this a mouse, actually? Technically, is this thing a mouse? All right. 1,749 people right now have donated $10,900 a month. Now, this used to be around $35,000, and a lot of you have quit, and I thank you for that. Thank you for stop giving me money. I appreciate it. I'm going to hit refresh on this, and I hope that that number has gone down. And if it hasn't gone down, you've put me in some sort of Faustian bargain. Here we go. I don't think I pressed it properly. Oh, my God. It went up again, didn't it? What? We went down. We went down $18. Thank you. Thank you, Internet. We went down $18. I've been talking for 2 hours, and finally, after imploring people to stop giving me over $10,000 a month, we lost $9. $18. We lost $18. It's incredible. Shout outs to Andrew and Teresa and to Sam. I appreciate it. Jim, you're getting a mug, brother. All right, Jim, you're a good man. Guys, would it be completely insane? I'm tempted to do this just because I cannot believe this. But I want to get the thumbs up from my team. I'm looking through the window here. Would it be insane to extend this for a half hour? It would not be insane. I've been given the thumbs up. Yeah? Everyone's confirming this? All right, here's the deal. I'm going to continue this for a half hour. I genuinely cannot believe this is happening. Please, people, Internet people, why? But this is true. This is real. You freaks. Oh, God. Another $200. Drink. Canada 50 is $37.68 in the US. Can I get a Canadian mug? Oh, no. Can I get a Can a Canadian get a mug? That's very different. Can I get a Canadian mug? That's more, what is a Canadian mug? How is that different than an American mug? Can a Canadian get a mug? No, you got to do it monthly. You can't do it on Super Chat. You're taking advantage of the situation, Canadian person. $50, should we be supporting Dave mugging people? Good question. What percentage of your listeners do you speculate are women? So it's actually interesting. So I don't know the total answer to this because when you do audio podcasts, which actually, our audio podcast is actually, I think, almost more popular than the YouTube show at this point, which is bizarre because no one sees those numbers. So it's a weird thing because you sort of judge the popularity in terms of the YouTube numbers. Last I saw, so politics in general, if you talk about anything political, it skews male. Now, I know that the social justice warriors would love it to have to be 50-50, and men and women should care about the exact same things at the exact same time, no matter what. Let's put that aside for just a second. Generally, politics skews heavily male. I mean, it's crazy. It's something like 90-10. Our channel is mostly politics, obviously, or mostly cultural related to politics, let's say. I think we're at about 75-25. So I think it's about 75% male, 25% female, which is pretty evenly distributed relative to the topics we're talking about. So it's a little hard to say. Someone just donated $50 on Super Chat. Need a Rubin mug to sit next to my leftist tier mugs. But you got to go to daverubin.com/donate. We're not doing that for Super Chat. You got to do it. You got to do it monthly. It's just one of the things we had to do. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, you know what? We'll do it for that guy, but we can't do it for anyone else. So if we can get that guy's email address, if we can possibly get it. 42,000 Coast Guard members still required to work did not get a paycheck for the first time in U.S. history that the military were not paid. Were your opinion? All right, so this would be a lot to get into at this moment. What I would say is this, is that first off, it sounds like, and I think this is a bipartisan thing, which is bizarre these days, it sounds like everyone that's furloughed right now or not getting paid right now that works for the government will get back pay. So that's one thing. Now, of course, that doesn't deal with your immediate bills. Now, if you work for the government, should you be living in a situation where you're week to week? Probably not, and maybe you have to figure out a few things for your own life, but we've all done that. When I was a struggling comic, I swear on my life, I remember a day when I first off, I was late on rent, and I was barely making anything, and I had quit several jobs, and I had done bartending, and I had done promotions, and I had handed out shit on the streets, and I'd done all sorts of things. And I remember, and I was already in my mid-20s or something, like I was way past this point. And I moved in, I couldn't even afford an apartment anymore, and I moved in with three guys who were great guys. I'll give them a shout. It was Mike and Chris and Adam. They didn't even have an extra room in their apartment. They had basically a hallway with a cot. And they let me stay there for I think it was like $50 a month to live in New York City. And I remember one day I had no cash. I literally had no cash, and I did not know what to do. And I was a struggling comic and the whole thing and blah, blah, blah. I'm not even saying this for Cry Me a River. I went into Mike's room. Mike is still a good buddy of mine. Mike, if you're watching this, and there's a good chance you are, and I love you, brother, I guess it's a good time to tell you. I took 75 cents from your change jar, chock full of nuts change jar. You had an old chock full of nuts, like metal coffee container. I took 75 cents. Maybe I took 95 cents. And I went to Zabar's. We lived on the Upper West Side. I went to Zabar's, which everyone that's been to New York City knows about Zabar's. And I got a cup of coffee, and I stole change from you. And I felt so freaking guilty for doing that. So the struggle is real. I guess is the point of that. What was the point of that? I don't really remember. Okay, different march and seen you in the UK during Jordan Peterson's talk. Hope to see you again here soon. Good luck outside Patreon. Right on, brother. Longtime fan, just want to say you're awesome, pledging to you and Jordan on payday. Ever need to design writing work or VA work? I'm your gal, much love. Mwah. I appreciate it. Mwah, back at you. Yeah, we've had so many people offer to work for us for free and offer to donate skills and this or that. We're trying, what I do is every time I get an email where someone is offering us something or some skill set or something, I forward it to Helen, who's my assistant, who's incredible actually, and has been a godsend in this operation, who we hired back in September, who, by the way, I think I'm allowed to say this, she, over the last 8 or 10 years of his life, was Hugh Hefner's assistant. So that's actually pretty cool. My assistant right now is Hugh Hefner's assistant. So if I start wandering around in robes with a lot of hot chicks around me, you'll know why. In any event, I forward everything over to her, and she's compiling a list of all of these things. So we'll try to figure out a lot of this, what to do going forward. All right, we got a half hour left. So and I'm not extending it after that. This is ridiculous, and I hate all of you. I'm going to press refresh here. And I just want to say, please, for the love of God, we want to end this thing tonight. 1,749 of you, for some reason, have refused to cancel your Patreon accounts. $10,000, $10,890 are sitting in there. Here we go. Ah! We lost about $1,000. Good night, everybody. Thank you for deleting $1,000 of patronage. I couldn't be happier. Thank you so much. You are great people. You are great, great people. I was so close to signing up for your Patreon recently, but LOL, not anymore. Go solo. You have immense support. Thank you very much. Let's see. Why didn't I get my $25 shout out for my Dave Rubin monthly pledge if I go to Patreon? A shout out to Die Standing. You got a shout out right there. How much is a shot? How much is a double shot? You gave $5 to ask that. I'll do the next shot at 200. I can't, I mean, what have I done now? 3 so far? I haven't eaten all day. I had a little salad and 2 cups of bone broth. Dave, thanks for the amazing shout out. Spent some time in Poland. It was amazing. I think Poland is actually going to be on the next tour stop, so hang tight on that. All right, lots going on here. Guys, I see a 200 sitting in here for drink. Is that a new one? Can I answer another question first? Is there another? All right, here, let me have a little water. How many of you watch Bandersnatch, by the way? Did you guys watch on Netflix Black Mirror Bandersnatch, where it's a choose your own adventure TV show? I actually do feel like we're kind of in that, which is pretty freaking cool. Kevin Johnson, were you a point guard on the Phoenix Suns in the early 1990s? Because that's pretty awesome if you were. Also, former mayor of Sacramento. Take a sip of water, Dave. You're crazy. Ha ha. If you can please sign my mug before they run out. Went to the website. It's properly swamped. Best of luck with this. Is the site down? Is the site down right now? DaveRubin.com/donate? I hope not. $20. You're not drunk if you can say brewery tour. Brewery tour. You know, it's a tough one to say. I want you to say this out loud if you're watching this. Irish wristwatch. Can you say that? Play along with me, people. Irish wristwatch. That's a tough one to say, and if you can say that, then you're really not drunk. All right, so apparently there's $200 in here saying drink. I need just a second. What are we doing here, people? I'm just raising funds. We're not going to do these fundraisers. I promise at least we won't. I said in the last thing we're not going to do them all year, but I think we should probably do them maybe twice a year. So I promise we won't do one till, let's say, June or July or summer or something like that. Maybe the last thing I do before I go off the grid. But we're just moving people over from Patreon over to DaveRubin.com/donate. And you guys have already, we're going to be okay. We're going to move forward. We're going to keep building things. We're all good. But we're completely independent thanks to you guys. I don't have to join a network. I don't have to do any of these other crazy things, and I thank you for that. And it's awesome. It's real. This is seriously freaking real. What can I tell you? I'm monthly on PayPal, but this stream is lit as fuck. AF. That's how the kids say as fuck these days, by the way. Good to know. I know you're at least somewhat interested in comics. Are you familiar with the Sonichu series? Remember to stay hydrated. I don't know the Sonichu people. How's my gulp sound on that? Every now and again I have a drink on the show and people say, Dave, you're a loud gulper. So I'm going to just drink casually. Let's just pretend, I'll just pretend nobody's watching. And I'm going to drink casually. How was that? Let me know in the comments right down below. Okay, here we go. Dave, you've upstaged Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren. She drank a beer in her video. I think that was what the earlier commenter meant to say. Yeah, I mean, but that's how stupid this thing is. These people are trying to pretend to be human. I drink a beer with my husband, so I'm a real person. Look, oh, my husband just happens to be here with my laptop in the kitchen, and he didn't know I was going to live stream to millions of people. It's like they're all just bullshit artists and buffoons, and stop paying attention to them. But at the other level, you have to pay attention because it's your life. So it's a little bit tough because these people have unwieldy power on your life, which is a problem. Ladies and jelly spoons, we have 25 minutes left. Go to daverubin.com/donate. I got to get rid of some of these freaking shirts. I can't deal with these shirts anymore. I have too many of them. They're causing problems, okay? They're causing marital problems. I need closet space, people. daverubin.com/donate. 25 bucks monthly, you're getting a shirt. 50 bucks monthly, you're getting the shirt, you're getting a mug. I'm going to sign it for you right now. And then we're deleting Patreon. I'm not extending this thing after that. I promise you we're done. I know there's 200 bucks sitting there in Super Chat about the shot. All right, the next 100. If we get 100 after this, I'll do the freaking shot. I hope you're happy. Let's go to the videotape. Right now, we have 1,745, I would say heathens, ungodly heathens, who have decided that they do not want to stop paying us here, even though I don't want them to. And I've sent several emails and I've done live streams and tweeted about it. And the money keeps going up. I think we went down to $9 last time. That was nice. And here we go. Jesus fuck. Did we just go up $1,500? We just went up $900. I can't quit you. You know. Dave, Chris here just wanted to let you know that Sword and Scale has donated about $500 on this stream, and you're awesome. And if you need a product manager from your new platform, Helen has my CV. Holla. All right, so Helen does have these things. I'm not making it up. We do categorize all of these things. Sword and Scale, I did not know about the podcast before this, but I do know about it now. He's been a huge supporter in getting the word out about Patreon. I think he's the 5th highest creator on Patreon. He's planning on leaving Patreon. I don't know him personally. I don't know. We've traded a couple messages. I don't know what his financial considerations are, but people are trying to do what they can, and it is pretty freaking awesome. I appreciate the support, brother, and let's just keep trying to do what we can. I kept my Patreon account simply because I wanted to see what happens on the Patreon end when the account we patronize is deleted. Well, that's fair. Thank you for not giving me more money. I think that's what you're saying. But that's fair. If you haven't deleted because you want to just see what happens the moment I delete via the insider thing that is happening on Patreon, I do appreciate that. All right, I'm giving shout outs $5 above on daverubin.com/donate, shirts $25 above monthly, and mugs on that. I will do another shot at $100 on Super Chat because you people are seriously twisted. We just went up $900 on Patreon. I don't know what to tell you other than I can't, you've got to stop giving us money there, and this is not right, nor this is unjust. I'm oppressed. I keep asking people to not do something, and they keep doing it. This is oppression. This is the oppression of the Sith. It is back. All right, I will be in Irvine, California, January 30th with a member of the IDW at the Irvine Improv. You can check daverubin.com/events to check out that. In case you can't tell, I used to be on the radio. So I've done a little of this, a little of that over the years. All right, who's jumping in on Super Chat? $100, I'm going to do another shot. At this point, it's like, let's just do it. You know what I mean? Like, let's just go down with the ship. I'm going to end up with $4 billion on Patreon. I'll be drunk as hell. I mean, let's just roll with it. Okay. A lot of things here. Shout out to John, Mike, and Chrissy. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. All right, it's 7:08. We got 22 minutes left. I'm gonna click that thing, and if it's higher, I'm gonna have to really evaluate things. Aaron, 1,743 people have donated $10,853. This is wrong. This is not good. We've gone up $14, people. I get it. It's all a joke. It's all a joke to you people as I sit here trying to delete this thing. You give me your hard-earned dollars just to stick it to the man, or something like that. I mean, this is actually hilarious. This is actually hilarious. Like, I give anyone that's given any money on there, like, we'll clear out the account before we delete. But like, this is legitimately hilarious. Like, this is not what I would have expected. Okay, here we go. FYI, Jordan Peterson has deleted his Patreon page. Ba-bam! 22 minutes left, people. Now 20 minutes left. I can confirm via the people in the booth. Jordan B. Peterson of Canada has deleted his Patreon page. All right, it's over. It's gone. It's done. He's in Switzerland right now. He deleted it from Switzerland. Okay? Try to grasp the gravity of the situation. Shout out to Rory. Thank you right now. Super chat, you missed my shout out for joining your site. Punishment is another shot. You sick, twisted bastard. All right, here we go. Lord, may the Lord have mercy on all of us. Don't know what's wrong with you people. Whoo! Ha ha! All right. It's good to be here. We're on Patreon. I'd like to announce today that we're rebooting our Patreon page, and we want to take as many donations there as possible. I feel like that's the future of the Rubin Report, joining third-party sites that don't care about free speech and seeing what happens. Let's take a roll of the dice. Thoughts on your comedian buddy Owen Benjamin and him shitting on everyone? Is he for real or is he just part of the new comedy routine? I honestly have no idea what's going on with him. I truly can't answer that in any sensible way. We got 19 minutes left. I can confirm that from Switzerland, Jordan Peterson has deleted his Patreon account. I've taken, I think, 5 shots of Patron. I'm 42 years old, people. No 42-year-old should be drinking 5 shots of Patron. I did 3 shows today before this, and the internet has screwed me by continually donating to the Patreon account that I will be deleting in moments. And I guess it's just a sign of the times. This is what it's all about. We who live in the internet, on this tube, this YouTube, we're but humble servants to you people. But really, this is like a choose your own adventure. You watching this right now are controlling my destiny. It's extremely bizarre. Also, I just realized what's very bizarre is it's only 7:12 in the evening here. A, I haven't had dinner, but B, in 18 minutes when I end this thing after I click delete, I'm gonna be drunk. I have several employees and family members here. None of them are gonna be drunk. Is anyone drunk in there? Not yet, not yet. All right, they're not drunk, people. Very bizarre. Okay, subscribe for 25, but change it to 50 and didn't get another email. Will I still be able to get a mug? Keep up the good work. Yeah, we'll make sure. We'll see your name twice in there. Helen, can you make sure we take care of that? For sure, we will deal with that. All right, ask me anything, people. Ask me anything. We are deleting Patreon. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Right now, we have 1,744 patrons. Despite at least 5 emails, despite 3 live streams, despite at least 20 tweets, Instagram posts, everything. Please stop giving me money. Delete your Patreon account. I don't want anything to do with you people. Despite all of that, we still have 1,700 people left, and we have $10,957. Here we go. We went up? We went down almost $900. That's what I'm talking about, people. Purge the money. Let's get it out of Patreon. They don't want our money. They've got Silicon Valley money. They've got VC money. They don't need our money. I love the fact that people at Patreon are watching this right now. Like, that's actually pretty hilarious. That's the other thing about the internet. The internet is so stupid these days that you have Silicon Valley people all these social justice warriors, or more so most of them are libertarians, actually. I mean, the secret of Silicon Valley is that most of these people are libertarians because they believe that they have ideas to create, and that would give you a very liberty-minded view of the world. They've become hostages to this SJW thing. And because of that, then they're around a bunch of people who they actually don't like, and I'm talking to all of you Silicon Valley people that I know are watching this right now. They've become hostages to all of these people, and then they're all just a bunch of sort of cowards, right? And then with all the soy and everything else, they can't really stand up for themselves. So what happens is, it just becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy that no one will stand up for what they believe in. So I have no doubt that there are plenty of people at Patreon that completely support what I'm doing here and whatever. But it's like, think about it. Think about this. So I joined Patreon in June. It was either June or May. I think it was June of 2016. We've been on there for 2.5+ years. We were basically making about 30 grand a month there that basically funded this entire company. So you'd have to do the math on that. 2.5 years of 30 grand a month. Can someone do the math on that? 300, 600. I mean, that's almost $1 million over the course of 3 years to fund a company. Now that sounds like a lot of money, but when you're funding a company and paying a lot of people, it's not a ton of money. But think about, like, I've put a lot of money into this company. Sam Harris put a lot of money into this company. Jordan Peterson put a lot of money into this company. The fact that nobody reached out to us, you'd think that some low-level nobody would reach out to us and say, guys, we're having this little issue here. But that's what's become the problem with these companies. Now, interestingly, I know that the lefties will say, because you don't want regulation of these companies and you think they can do whatever they want to do. Yes, I do think they can do whatever they want to do. They can do whatever they want to do. And I can do whatever I want to do. Freedom is messy, but freedom is good. Shout out to Ethan, thank you very much. $69, curious number. I think you're onto something with this whole pay me and I'll take a shot fundraising. I might try it and see if it works when you're not famous. LOL. Am I famous? I guess I'm famous. It's weird. That's also a weird thing because I'm at an odd level of fame where, like, clearly, I guess I'm famous at some level, but like I go to Whole Foods or I go to like anywhere. Like I go to like the bowling alley or like wherever it is that I go, or I go to like Petco and people recognize me, or often I'll see people looking at me and I'm like, do they like me? I don't know if they, or do they think I'm a white supremacist? So most of my day is wandering around strange stores picking up food for my dog going, do they think I'm a white supremacist? Which, think how stupid the whole thing has become. Next time you take a shot, I'll make a sound like Anderson Cooper and I'll donate $100. All right, that's funny. That's funny. That might be the funniest thing that's happened this whole time. So if nobody watched CNN on New Year's Eve, like what kind of life do you have that you'd watch CNN on New Year's Eve? But you might have watched a clip of it on Twitter, and I saw a 5-second clip where him and Andy Cohen, Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen, they're taking shots, and it's like that's the one night of the year that the CNN people get to act like humans, but they can't really act like humans because they've spent a year not acting like a human. So how can they act like a human on one night? That's a tough gig. But so Anderson takes a shot. He's like, oh my God, it's bad. So all right, you know what? Here's what we'll do. $500, I will do an Anderson Cooper impression while taking a shot. It's got to be $500. I'm sorry. The money's going up on Patreon despite the fact that I wanted to go down. So here, the rubber meets the road, people. I will do an impression of Anderson Cooper. Hey, Dave, keep up the good work. I came to America to be around people like you. Instead, I found free speech police. Hopefully, people like you help turn things around. Awesome. I'd love to know where you're from. Can you do something that we can figure out where this person is from? I love that story. That's the other thing. When I go into Ubers and cabs in all these places that I go to, whether it's in the States or not, it's like everyone that I've met, it's like everyone loves to be in the West. They love to be in Canada. They love to be in the UK. They love to be in America. It ain't that bad. How much for a 6th shot? You donated $5.69. Another interesting number. I remember the time before you had a Patreon, right after the adpocalypse. It won't be that bad. We're going to be all right. You're right. Jesse, you're getting a mug, brother or sister. Jesse could be a guy, could be a girl. But who am I to assign a gender to Jesse? You know what I mean? And again, Jesse, whatever gender you are, I just want you to know, I think you're a great gender, you know? Like, you're really a great guy or gal. You know, Jesse, great gal, great guy or gal. Okay, here we go. We got 13 minutes left. By the way, my phone is exploding right now. I don't want to show all the names of the people, but my phone is exploding, which either means that I've ruined my career tonight or we got some good shit going on. I suspect it's the latter, but you never know. Here we go. We're going to hit refresh. We have 1,444 people. We've got 11 minutes remaining. Please, if there is a Lord in the universe, if any of this means anything, let the number 10,079 go down. We went up $900. All right. You know what I love? There is a set of anonymous Twitter accounts that are run by journalists. There's about 10 influential lefty anonymous accounts on Twitter that are run by journalists, and they think they're really clever. And I know they're watching this, waiting for me to say anything off script or whatever, even though there's no script here. They're waiting for me to just say anything that's anything. And what they do is they're anonymous Twitter, they're journalists or friends of journalists. And what they do is they wait to clip one thing, and then they magically get HuffPo or BuzzFeed or Vox, which is the worst, or any of these things, to quote what I say and say, Rubin was drunk and blah, 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 said this. And it's like, I know they're just sitting there watching this, and they couldn't get anyone to give them a buck. And I'm literally asking people to not give me money right now. Here we go. I can afford a couple months at 50 right now. Hope that gets me a cool signed mug. Jesse without the I is male. Now stop flirting with me. Jesse, welcome back. All right, so Jesse's gonna get the mug. And you're right. So it was Jesse, which I assumed was a male. But these days, with the way gender is so fluid, and the way just because you have a penis, you might be you could be a woman, you could be a Decepticon, whatever it is, Sith Lord, doesn't matter. The point is, we're just doing the best we can. Ladles and jelly spoons, we have 9 minutes left. We went up $900 on Patreon. The best part of this is, so we really had, the last couple of days here really have been insane. So David had surgery, as I mentioned before. So David's not even part of this. David's the executive producer of the show who has run, if anything I do looks remotely professional or anything, maybe not today, but generally speaking, David has done this. This is him. He learned this from scratch and has become, I would say, the best executive producer probably in the business. And he could not work these last couple of days because it was a minor sinus related surgery, but like he was knocked out on pain meds and all sorts of stuff the last couple of days. So my whole team has completely stepped up. We brought in some other people, and my brother and sister-in-law have helped, and a whole bunch of people. And the fact that here we are, this morning I said to David, I was like, I hope that by the end of this, like, I don't know how to get to these Patreon people. Like, it's actually incredible, and it's a little sign of the times or something that a certain amount of people just donate to things and forget about it. And I mean that, I don't mean that judging them in a negative way. I mean that as like, it's actually kind of cool. It's like someone's got a couple bucks, and it's like you give to something you believe in, and then you just forget about it. It's like, what a luxury that is, what a great thing that is. But I was like, at the end of this, like, it would be so cool if the entire live stream, 2 hours, we could watch this number drop. And we have not had that happen. All right, $150. I think what you're doing is great, and I fully support your willingness to take a stand and have the conversations nobody else will have. Thank you. You know what? You didn't even ask me to take a shot, but I'm feeling the flow. It's 7:23. This is Patron Ladles and Jelly Spoons. Ladles and Jelly Spoons. I want to give a shout out. I hope my buddy, so when I did stand up in New York for 12 years, and I hope you guys will come out and see me do stand up in the future, because people don't know that part of me until they see it, and then people are like, holy shit, you're actually good at this. But which is actually more of a fun thing, because people they come to the show and they don't even know what to expect. But there were two comics who I knew that were great that I'm going to give a public shout out to now, that I don't even know that you can find anything about them online. The two best comics that I ever knew in 12 years of stand-up in New York were Bob Jurgens and Mike Singer. And I don't know that you can find anything about them. Bob's an actor now, so I hope you can at least find out about him. I don't know what happened to Mike. But Bob used to always get on stage, and if he was really struggling, he'd ham it up and go, come on, Ladles and Jelly Spoons. And I just thought it was the funniest thing. So here we go. In honor of Bob and the old timers. Why? Why, Internet? I look forward to the Huffington Post piece on this. Will you drink the whole bottle if the number goes down to 0? I mean, that would genuinely be the end of my life. Which is sort of how this all should end, right? Like, it should all end on a live stream. All right, here's what we're gonna do. It's 7:24. I'm gonna do one check right now, and then at exactly 7:30, we're deleting this motherfucker, regardless of what you sons of bitches have done. Here we go. It's 7:25. I'm clicking refresh. It's taking some time. There was no change. It did not change. Thank you. That's all I ask. It doesn't have to go down, although I'd like it to go down, but we prefer not to go. All right, so that's where we're at. That's the official number. Aaron, can you throw back to that thing? All right, so this is the final official number. I have 1,744 patrons that are donating $10,987 a month. We'll come back here for a sec. I am 100%, joking aside, and completely acknowledging the humor and the trollish nature of the people who have donated in the last hour. I'm completely appreciative of all the people that have done this. And it's sort of hilarious, and many of them maybe will see this video in a week or something. People have lives too. So I'm completely appreciative of anyone that's been part of this thing. And a shout out to Patrick and to Mike right now. So I'm appreciative of all of that. We're going to donate this thing in 5 minutes. And so let me get serious for just a moment, and then we're going to delete this thing. Here, you know what? I'll do these 2 quick questions. Come on, please give Anderson Cooper. Come on, please give the Anderson Cooper impression. I was supposed to use the $100 to subscribe to Ben Shapiro, but here I am. And that's Shapiro, by the way. It's his birthday today. And because he would not bake me a gay cake, I did not send him a cake. I wanted to send him a cupcake, but you know, if you're not going to bake me a gay cake for my gay wedding, I'm not going to send you a birthday cake. So you get nothing, Shapiro. I left Patreon as I support the First Amendment, and they silenced quite a few people. How do I attain a mug? You can get a mug if you go to daverubin.com/donate and you donate $50 a month. And you can cancel whenever you want, but if you donate $50 a month to start, we'll send you a mug. I shouldn't have said that because you know we want you to obviously keep donating, but it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 minutes left. Love drunk Dave, can't believe you didn't get sick on camera. You're a trooper. Old school, you know what I'm saying? Old school. All right, we got 2 minutes left. I just want to say, really, this has been a pleasure. There's a huge part of me that wants to keep this going right now. But I know I probably should not. And I know that my dedicated staff has lives. Some of them might want to get laid tonight or do whatever they do in their own lives. So for me to sit here and continue this insanity would be selfish, and I don't want to do that. So I've got about 2 minutes left. More than anything else, I genuinely want to thank you guys. Anyone that, forget anyone that's donated new for a second, for any of you that have donated over the last 2.5 years, the day that we started the Patreon thing, and I quit my job at Aura TV, and my executive producer and my director quit with me on a lark. It truly was a lark. We did not know what was going to happen. And I said to them the night before, I said, I may have screwed up all of our lives. Like I had worked so hard to get something, and I quit a network so that we could do something. We didn't know what was going to happen. And the next morning, within a half hour, we knew we were going to be okay. And we've been okay ever since then. And there's been ups, there's been downs, the twists and turns that come along the way. But I have genuinely tried to do the best thing that I could along the road. I've made mistakes. I'm not perfect. I'm open to the same criticism that everyone else is open to. But I promised you guys this is just the beginning. It's just the beginning again, which is weird. That there's something about life in that the beginning can keep happening if you keep doing something real. I don't know what that is, but I actually think it is something. And I'll keep trying to do it the best I can. So I thank you guys for that. Let's see. I will answer one more question, and then it's 7:29, and we're going to delete this bitch-ass motherfucker. Tag team wrestling match. Tag team wrestling match. Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson versus Dave Rubin and Eric Weinstein. Who would win? I want to think this one through, and I love the fact that this is the last thing that I'm going to do before I cancel this thing. And a shout out to Michael real quick. Shapiro and Peterson. Now Shapiro's small, but Shapiro fast. He'll get you. Now Peterson's got that long reach, and he's got quick hands. So you got quick hands, and you got somebody quick. So there's a lot of speed. Dave Rubin and Eric Weinstein. I'll do Rubin last. That guy's good. Weinstein, now he can think it through. He can think it through, and he's got big hair. So he could use his hair as a weapon. So now you're looking at a hair weapon situation. I could also envision a situation where Eric's just going to plow through a Weinstein. You know what I mean? Like they're going to get face to face, and Shapiro's going to be moving fast, but Eric's just going to plow through him. Now you got Rubin. You know, he's the most fit of the group. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to delete Patreon right now. I'm going to leave that decision of that question, which is an extremely important question, which is about the battle of ideas and the regressive left and all of it. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to set that down, and I'm going to delete Patreon. My phone is exploding. My phone is on fire. I can't show you all of this. My phone is actually melting through the table right now. I have a time bomb sitting with me. It's time to delete Patreon. In case it's not clear, thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Whether you donated on Patreon in the past, whether you donate now, and even if you didn't donate, I don't care, truly. We're going to be okay. And if you were any part of this, part of the silliness that we've done for the last 2.5 hours, this is as good as it gets. This really is as good as it gets. As far as anything I know on this universe, this is as good as it gets. So I'm going to hit refresh on this thing one more time, and then you're going to watch me delete this. So here we go. So right now, after 2.5 hours, we have more money than we started with. And I think more patrons. No, maybe we lost patrons, but we have more money. But here we go. I'm refreshing. Okay, so we did actually go down. So Aaron, throw to me one more time. Okay, so we did actually go down, so thank you. I don't know what happened here, and I don't know why. I guess all of these people, like, it just is what it is. It is what it is. It's all good, guys. Thank you. Really, really. I wish I could say this in a way that could possibly be more genuinely felt than I'm possibly saying it right now. But genuinely, thank you. That is all I can say. And this is just the beginning. So now I'm going to click delete. So I think there's a delete here somewhere. So I'm going to click settings. We're doing it live. Fuck it, we're doing it live. I'm clicking account. Oh, now I may have to move here for just a second physically because I got to scroll. I know there's a way to scroll without doing it the way I do it, old school, but I do it old school. Disable my account. Here we go, guys. This is it. Careful. This will permanently disable your account. You won't be able to log in again after you do this. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, I should do one thing, just to be clear, in case that's actually true. I don't want them stealing the money that you guys donated, even though I didn't want you to donate money. So let's just knock that out real quick. Payout preferences. So in the course of the last 2.5 hours where I've tried to lose money on this thing, you guys donated $1,452.89. So thank you, you freaks. So we're going to send that. Oops, don't look at that. That's my old Gmail. Don't want to see that. Okay. All right, so I have nothing in my Patreon right now. And now I'm going to click settings. Please don't email me. I have, other things going on. Okay, so settings. All right, settle down. Whoop, I clicked messages. No, we don't want to see that. Okay, ignore that. Sorry. Oh, Lord. Settings. No, oh, click accounts. What? To the right. Accounts on the left. To the right, to the right. Oh, God, isn't that a song? Doesn't Beyonce do that? Oh, that's to the left? What? Oh, account. There we go. All right. All right, here we go. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Drum roll, please. Oh, God. Please enter your password. Wait. I don't know the password. Someone's going to get the password. All right, Aaron, please come back to camera one. I'm going to mosey on in. I don't know the password. Could be anything. 4291684, ABCDFG, some combination thereof. No idea. I guess in the moment, we're looking for the password and we have it in a very secure place. Oh, I've got a team member. No, what are you, stupid? You can't say it what? That was literally the dumbest thing that has ever happened in the history of the internet. You got to write it down. You idiot. Can you tell me the password? That was that was the beautiful ending to this whole thing. All right. Now I'm going to have to go back to this thing. We got the password. This is true lunacy. I guess I could do another shot while I'm waiting. Oh, it's being written down. All right, I'm being handed the piece of paper. Off camera. Thank you. I've been handed the paper. Damn, that's the password? Well, shit. All right. Here we go. Enter password. Submit. Oh, password. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do for a second. I'm just going to get in front of the camera so I can just knock this thing out. So here we go. Okay, I have placed the password in the Patreon. I'm deleting, now remember guys, I have about 10,000 bucks a month that I could just repeat and it clearly wouldn't go anywhere and I keep getting this money. Zippity damn do, here we go, submit. To keep your, oh, for God's sakes, there's my email address again, my private one. To keep your account safe, we've sent you an email at blah, blah, blah with the link to disable your account. Okay, hold that thought, guys. This is, we've entered true something or other. Aaron, maybe you want to go to the other camera? Is my head even in the camera? All right. Hey, everybody, how are you? Dave Rubin, trying to delete my Patreon account. Just a sec. Okay. Okay. We're sorry. All right, Aaron, here we go. We're sorry to see you go. You're receiving this email because you've requested to disable your account in account settings. If you didn't request this, please contact Patreon support to ensure the security of their account. I would email them and ask them their thoughts about freedom of speech, but it's a little late for that. If you do want to disable your account, simply click on the Disable My Account button below. Your account will be permanently disabled and you won't be able to log into your Patreon account using this username and password associated with the account. Thanks for checking out Patreon. You will be missed in 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, for God's sakes, there's another freaking button. Are you sure you want to disable your Patreon account? This action cannot be reversed. Let's keep it going for 6 more hours. No, here we go. Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. There was a problem disabling your account. Your disable link may have expired. Please visit your account settings and try unbelievable. Unbelievable. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Visit your account settings. All right, hang tight, people. Going to account settings. Let's try that again. You got to be kidding me. disable my account. I'm putting the password in again. Jesus Christ. Hold on, hold on. We sent your email. All right, well, now congratulations. You all have my private email. Zip, that's wonderful. We'll be changing that one soon enough. Confirmation needed. Got it. 0 minutes ago. We're sorry to see you go. Disable my account. Yes, disable my account. Aaron, come back to the one shot. I'll be on Patreon forever. All right, I don't know what the hell is going on here. I promise you I will delete this fucking thing whenever I can. This is actually a perfect ending to this whole story, right? Like, this is the way these companies operate. If I emailed these people tomorrow, they would not respond to me. I'd have to publicly shame them on Twitter like I do with YouTube all the time. I wouldn't be able to get in touch with a person. All of these stupid things. All right, let's not worry about it. I think you guys got the point. I mean, what a ridiculously anticlimactic yet totally fitting ending to all of this. I would try one more time, but I think you guys, we illustrated the point here, so it is what it is. So on that note, I genuinely have nothing but thanks for you guys. That's it. I got nothing but thanks. Thank you guys. Thank you for my team that helped me make this whole thing happen today and since we started this whole operation. I thank everybody that was part of this craziness today, whether it was on Super Chat or Patreon or wherever it was. Yeah, I got a bottle of Patron and a Patreon account I can't get rid of. And therein lies an incredible story, which will probably make it into my book that I'm writing right now. So you guys saw it happen live. So genuinely, thank you. And wait a minute. Wait. Jordan deleted his account? So Jordan was able to delete his account, and I can't delete my account. Yeah, all right. All right, I'm deleting this account. Please never come back to the patreon.com/Rubin Report page. Fight for what you believe in, even if it's not the things that I believe in, but fight for them honestly and forthrightly and decently, and understand that you're supposed to live in a country with people that disagree with you. We'll keep having these conversations. This really is just the beginning. Jordan and I are going to build something great. There's all sorts of steps along the road to make this happen. I think you got the point already. And thank you. And I have to pee. Good night.